commensurate or are commensurate to the services that Mwananchi is getting from this money. Just a sneak peek at some of the allocations to these counties is that we have Kakamega County, Turkana County, and also Nakuru County are getting a total of 14.8 billion. Nakuru is 14.8 billion. Turkana is 14.2 billion. And Kakamega is 14.06 billion Kenya shillings. Nairobi has received the lion's share at 22.113 billion Kenya shillings. Muranga will be getting or has been allocated 8.226 billion Kenya shillings. Siaya County has been allocated 8.009. That is 8 billion 9 million Kenya shillings. Tana River has received 7.404. Tharaka Nithi has been allocated 5.2 billion Kenya shillings. Nandi County has been allocated 8.01 billion Kenya shillings. Laikipia has been allocated 6.298 billion Kenya shillings. Marsabit has been allocated 8.391 billion Kenya shillings. Meru has received 10.89. Mombasa County has received 8.65 billion Kenya shillings. Migori has been allocated 9.16. Remember, these are monies that the county governments are sharing from the equitable share, revenue share, the 428 billion Kenya shillings. Kilifi County is receiving 13.175 billion Kenya shillings. Kisii County is receiving 10.108 billion Kenya shillings. Kwale County has been allocated 9.333 billion Kenya shillings.
Honorable members,
Lamu County has been allocated 3.987 billion Kenya shillings, and Machakos County 10.5. So basically, those are some of the allocations to a number of county governments. As I have indicated to you, Nyamira County has been allocated 6.265 billion Kenya shillings, and Tana River has gotten 7.44. However, we can see the Speaker of the National Assembly, Honorable Dr. Moses Masika Wetangula, has already made his way into the House to preside over this afternoon sitting. You will allow me to hand you over to this live broadcast that is brought to you by the Parliamentary Broadcasting Unit in partnership with the Kenya Broadcasting Corporation. My name is Kamche Menza. Good afternoon.
Mheshimiwa, tuombe. Ewe Mwenyezi Mungu ambaye kwa hekima na wema wako umeteua nyadhifa za viongozi na mabunge kwa ustawi wa jamii na utawala wa haki wa wanadamu, tukusihi utazame kwa neema nyingi sisi watumishi wako ambao wameridhika kutuita tutekeleze shughuli muhimu za jamhuri yetu. Tunakuomba uteremshie baraka zako sisi tulikutanika hapa, na utujalie tuyatende na kufikiria mambo yetu yatakayofikishwa mbele yetu kwa njia ya haki na uaminifu, ili utukufu na sifa zako ziendelezwe, na ili kustawisha amani, ufanisi na heri ya nchi yetu na wale ambao hawajazaa wamesikabidhi mikononi mwetu. Amen. Very impressive. We have quorum. Yes. Very good. Congratulations. Yes, clerk, can we proceed?
Order number 1, administration of oath. Order number 2, communication from the chair. Order number 3, messages.
Thank you, honorable members. We have a message from the Senate on passage of the county government's additional allocations bill, Senate Bill number 8 of 2026. Honorable members, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 41-4, I wish to report to the House that I have received a message from the Senate regarding the county government's additional allocations bill, Senate Bill number 8 of 2026. Honorable members, the message conveys that the Senate considered and passed the county government's additional allocations bill, Senate Bill number 8 of 2026 on 17 June 2026 with amendments. The county government's additional allocations bill, Senate Bill number 8 of 2026 was published via Kenya Gazette Supplement number 61 of 16 March 2026 and seeks to provide for additional allocations to county governments for the 2026-2027 financial year and the responsibilities of national government and county governments pursuant to the said allocations. Having passed the bill, the Senate now seeks the concurrence of the National Assembly on the bill in accordance with the provisions of Article 110(4) of the Constitution. Honorable members, Standing Order 1431 requires the Speaker to cause a bill received from the Senate to be read a first time upon conveyance of its message. I therefore direct the clerk to have the bill listed in the order paper for the first reading at the next sitting. Thereafter, the bill stands committed to the Budget and Appropriations Committee for consideration pursuant to the provisions of Article 110 of the Constitution. The committee is to report to the House on the bill to enable its consideration within the set timelines. The House is accordingly guided, and I thank you. Next.
Order number 4, petitions. Order number 5, papers.
Majority Leader.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay the following papers on the table of the House today, Thursday, 25th June 2026. 1. County Government Budget Implementation Review Report for the first 9 months of financial year 2025-2026 from the Office of the Controller of Budget. 2. Reports of the Auditor General of Financial Statements for the years ended 30th June 2021, 30th June 2022, 30th June 2023, 30th June 2024, and 30th June 2025, and the certificates therein in respect of the following schools: Christ the King High School, Chepterit, Nandi County; Huruma Mixed Day Secondary School, Mombasa County; Juma Boys Secondary School, Kwale County; Kahuho Uhuru High School, Kiambu County; Kamagut High School, Wasigishu County; Kerotet Girls Secondary School, Washigishu County; Kisaju Dipak Secondary School, Kajiado County; Kitengela Magereza Mixed High School, Kajiado County; Kongowea Secondary School, Mombasa County; Kora Secondary School, Tana River County; Miritini Complex High School, Mombasa County; Olol Tepes Secondary School, Kajiado County; Ontulili Boys High School, Meru County; Ruiru Girls High School, Meru County; Sokoke Boys High School, Kilifi County; Sosio Secondary School, Wasigishu County; St. Albertina Kiongwani High School, Makueni County; and St. Joseph Mkunguni Secondary School, Nyandarua County. 3. Reports of the Auditor General of Financial Statements for the year ended 30th June 2025 and certificates therein in respect of the following schools: ABC Mbitini Girls High School, Kitui County; AIC Itoloni Girls Secondary School, Kitui County; Alliance High School, Kiambu County; Nairobi School, Nairobi County; Kasikeu Boys High School, Makueni County; St. Teresa Mbooni Girls High School, Makueni; and Wa Girls High School, Kwale County. Honorable Speaker, I lay.
Thank you. Next.
Order number 6, notices of motion. Order number 7, questions and statements.
Honorable Chege Njuguna, member for Kandara. Is he in the house? Question stayed. Honorable Dick Maungu, MP Lwanda. Go ahead.
Thank you, Speaker. My minority leader has actually drawn your attention to an important matter. Honorable Speaker, I stand to request for a statement regarding the rising cases of insecurity in Lwanda constituency. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to Standing Order number 44-2C, I rise to seek a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Administration and Internal Security regarding the rising cases of insecurity in Lwanda constituency. Honorable Speaker, since the beginning of 2026, insecurity in Lwanda constituency has escalated sharply, causing widespread fear among residents. More than 20 people have been killed in a series of violent attacks, triggering a resident-led protest to demand urgent intervention. There has been a notable increase in criminal activities, with the border operators singled out as frequent targets. In several reported cases, young operators were allegedly lured by individuals posing as customers, only to be attacked or left with serious injuries, while their motorcycles were stolen. Honorable Speaker, on 27th of May 2026, Brian Amatea, whose ID number is tabled, a resident of Mumbita sub-location, Ibona location, went missing. His body was subsequently recovered and held at the mortuary as an identified person, but his motorcycle remains missing. The matter was reported to Lwanda Police Station under OB number 2/28/0526. Additionally, a border operator from Ebusundi sustained severe head injuries following brutal attacks in which the assailants fled with his motorcycle. Although he survived, the injuries are serious and underscore the high level of risk that border operators and other residents continue to face. Honorable Speaker, there's also been a rise in household burglaries, including recent incidents in which a household was burgled and suffered the loss of an unspecified quantity of household items, including over 50 chicken. The matter was reported at Lwanda Police Station under OB number 27/3/6/2026. This continued occurrence of such crimes without any corresponding resolution therefore threatens livelihood, public safety, local transport services, and small businesses, and overall well-being of residents across the constituency and neighboring areas. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I seek a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Administration and Internal Security on the following. 1, a status report on the assessment of the insecurity situations recorded in Lwanda constituency in the recent past and the elaborate interventions the ministry has or intends to implement to curb escalating insecurity. Number 2, the status of investigations into the murder of Brian Amatea, whose ID number is included, including plans to compensate the said family that is left in desolation. 3, actions being taken to ensure that the perpetrators and reported crimes are arrested and prosecuted. I thank you, Honorable Speaker. I submit. Thank you.
Security, Tongoyo.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
You give him the mic.
We can respond the first week once we resume from recess. But if we can get the response...
You can't do something next week. You've heard of those string of brutal attacks on border riders? Or what did I hear?
I did. I know
Can
I've
you
got 2
bring us
months
some
on the
at
table.
least preliminary statement
Okay.
on Wednesday
that.
next week?
Maybe Thursday, Speaker.
Thursday next week.
Please, yes.
Okay. Yes, Honorable, you want to joyride? Give Dr. Nyikal the mic, yes.
We actually, Honorable Maungu is my neighbor, and the problem of motorbike riders being attacked at night is actually the same. The pattern is the same, and even in my constituency, when some have been traced, we find there's a link between Lwanda. At least the border people say there's a link between what is happening in Lwanda and what is happening in my constituency. So when Honorable Tongoyo is actually investigating this, it should say its same constituency should also be looked at at the same time, because we think there's a link between what's happening there and what is happening in Lwanda. And actually, I think in Lwanda, people even demonstrated because they think they know who the suspect may be, but nothing is being done. So, Honorable Tongoyo, look a little further. You may help all of us. Thank you.
Rindikiri?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I think there is a wave targeting our border leaders. The Speaker, yesterday, the Women Lab of Isiolo brought up a matter on funny attacks and rapes. Mr. Speaker, 4 days ago, a leader from my constituency, which borders Isiolo town, was attacked. And when it was reported to the police, instead of the police taking up the matter, they referred the matter back to my constituency, which is outside the jurisdiction where the attack was done. Last night, Mr. Speaker, there were attacks again on border along Nanyuki Meru Road. So I think it's something that is coming up, and I think I support what Maungu has done. It's something that really needs to be addressed very seriously by the Internal Security Committee. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Tongoyo, umesikia hiyo?
Honorable Speaker, and considering that this is a situation that may not be just isolated to Lwanda or Seme, it's something that is all over the place. Yes. Maybe rather we can also forward to lump together with the question that we will be processing before the committee plenary, yes, when we'll be seeing the minister next week. And I can also call the members.
But bring a preliminary response.
I will.
To the House on
on Thursday.
On Thursday.
Yeah.
Ambassador Sigay.
Suppose we're able to meet the minister before Thursday.
You can invite.
We can process and still bring the report to the floor.
Excellent. Ambassador Sigay.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. This is a request for a statement regarding the stalled affordable housing project in Swati constituency. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 44-2C, I rise to request for a statement regarding the stalled affordable housing project in Swati constituency. Honorable Speaker, Swati constituency was identified as one of the beneficiaries of the government's affordable housing program, with 596 housing units, together with associated social amenities and infrastructure earmarked for construction under the initiative. The project, which commenced in 2025, was expected to improve access to decent and affordable housing, create employment opportunities, and stimulate economic activity within the constituency. However, implementation has experienced significant delays and has since stalled despite the contractor having mobilized to the site and commenced works in accordance with the contract. Honorable Speaker, it is alleged that the contractor has not received any payment since the commencement of the project, and he has therefore issued notices to suspend works and subsequently terminate contract, citing breach of contractual obligations by the procuring entity. The continued delay has denied the residents of Sotik constituency the intended benefits of affordable housing program and raises concerns regarding project management, contract administration, and the possible exposure of public funds to contractual claims, compensation, and cost escalation. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Housing, Urban Planning and Public Works on the following. 1. Current status of Sotik Affordable Housing Project, including commencement date, contractual completion date, duration of the delay, percentage of works completed, and the amount certified and paid to date. Number 2, confirmation as to whether the ministry is aware of the contractor's notices to suspend and terminate the contract and measures in place to resolve the outstanding issues, facilitate the resumption of works, and ensure completion of the project. And lastly, number 3, financial and legal exposure, if any, that the government is facing arising from delayed payments and stalled project, and measures in place to safeguard public funds and project taxpayers for potential losses. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Chair Housing. Yes, a mother. Hold on, Chairman.
Thank you.
Hold on, Chairman. A mother. Give him the mic. There you are.
Thank you, Speaker. You know, when you listen to such kind of reports that we have stalled projects under affordable housing program, it is too unfortunate, Honorable Speaker, because this is a levy, meaning money is available. And why should they delay paying and work stall? It is, what are we communicating to Kenyans? When our payslips are reduced, this is a levy, meaning money is available, pay, and let the projects be implemented, Honorable Speaker. Because even in Turkana, the same is happening. It's the same thing. Projects that were started are still dragging. They are not completed within the timelines specified, Honorable Speaker.
Garrido.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to end on the same, because in my constituency, Igembe Central, the Technical and Vocational Training Institute, housing, the contractor came, did the trenches, brought some building materials, and left for the last 4 months. Now everybody is worried and questioning what is happening. So I would like to bring it to the attention of the committee that this is a very international, important project, because the president, even the president himself, has been moving around on it, and we have the funds. We need to see the work going on, and the committee should pull up their socks and complete these projects on time. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Kainan.
Mr. Speaker, I thought I was the only one. And coming from a region that has been neglected over the years, when these projects were first launched, we were all excited. I have 2 in my place, and both have stalled. I think somebody should tell us, where is this levy? Where is the money? Why have these projects been started? Why have they stalled? What message are we sending to the taxpayers? And I think this is something that the committee should address as a matter of national importance, because really you know the significance of this. We cannot afford to have those stalled projects under this housing levy. It will be a national shame. So, Chairman and your committee members, that question is not an isolated question. It's something that cuts across. Can this be addressed as a matter of national importance?
Bowen.
Mr. Speaker, the issue of stalled affordable housing projects in our constituency now looks like it's a concern of many members. I even thought it was only in Marakwet East, Honorable Speaker, where the contractor came it's now almost 1 year since the contractor was handed over site. And Honorable Speaker, up to now, there is nothing, absolutely nothing. I've even written letters to the PS asking if there is a need for that contractor to be, or the contract to be cancelled and re-advertised afresh if the contractor doesn't have the capability. But it seems now that it is not about the issue of the contractor, because it cannot be that the entire contractors in the country are not capable. It means there is a problem in the ministry, Honorable Speaker. And Mr. Speaker, I think as a House we need to summon the minister in charge. Yes, I think there is a sabotage in the ministry. Yeah, and he's actually supporting the president, because the president has been going around launching these projects, and now there is nothing going on.
Pareo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to add my voice on this issue. I also thought it was about Narok North, because we have about 4 markets in Narok North, and there is nothing that is going on. In one of the markets, that is where women who are busy doing their own businesses, they were moved out so that this market could be constructed. And up to today, these women are loitering around there. They come to me wanting me to answer these questions, and I have no answer. So I feel that there is a need for us to call whoever is concerned to come and tell us what is going on, so that we can get answers to these women. Thank you.
Chairman, Housing, you hear that round of concern?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I have taken note of the statement from MP Sotik, Honorable
And
Sike.
everybody else.
And I want to promise, Honorable Speaker.
Yes.
That
Hold on, Chairman. Yes, Cynthia Muge, what is it? Chairman, hold on. More concerns are coming.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Like you remember, I raised a concern last week about the markets, and I think it's a concern that you ruled that it was affecting everyone. On the housing one, Honorable Speaker, I know everyone is complaining, and the Honorable Member from Turkana has said the problem is indeed everywhere. Honorable Speaker, allow me to say the housing project in Kapsabet in Nandi County was completed within the scheduled time, and it has been handed over to the people. I am personally impressed by the progress of those ones in Kapsabet town, the Chesumei side. So, Honorable Speaker, there are problems, but there are also good things that are happening, including those ones in Kapsabet. So I want to appreciate and also ask that the rest be completed.
Yes, Cherorot.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this opportunity so that I can be able to contribute. Last time, Mr. Speaker, it became a concern with the All House, Mr. Speaker, and I remember you ruled that we are going to call the CS housing and Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, I think this is a concern, and we have some of the contractors who are not competent. So I think the only thing, Mr. Speaker, is to have that Kamukunji, as you said last time. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Oundo.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I just wanted to bring to your attention that if I recall well, you had mentioned something about a Kamukunji between the Cabinet Secretary and his Permanent Secretary to come and address the concerns of the members of the country, members here, and the people generally, because the case of the stalled projects funded under the housing levy is a story that we will tell later. But it's important that you ask them to come. I don't want to preempt any statement I might make when they are here, so that's what we had requested. Thank you.
Owen Bayer. I had indicated to the House.
Yes, Mr. Speaker, yes.
That because of the round of concerns now triggered by Ambassador Sigei's statement.
Yes.
Can we have the minister and members demanded and the PS? Can we have them to Akamkunji on a Thursday morning?
All right. Much obliged. I will communicate, Mr. Speaker, so that
So it is directed that the Minister for Housing, her PS,
yes,
and any other person of interest,
yes,
appear before the House for Akamkunji on Thursday, 2nd of July at 10 a.m.
Much obliged, Mr. Speaker.
So all those with concerns, raise them on that day. Yes, Honorable Atandi.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I had another concern, but on a different ministry. I don't know whether we could have two CSs appearing on that day. This one is the CS for sports. I got reports that what they're called, not the stadiums, the academies, yes. That the academies, the program has stalled everywhere. And so it would interest the House to also have the CS in charge to come and also explain to us about that one also. Thank you.
I have received no request to that. Atandi, write to me so that I assess and see the need to call the CS. If I find that you make a good case, I'll call him along. Next, responses. Ali Abdi is in the House. Member for Ijara. Tongoyo is in the House. Tongoyo, are you ready? The member is in the House. Go ahead.
Honorable Speaker, the member has got two sets of questions, and I want to start with a light one. Honorable Speaker, the first question was regarding operationalization of units in Ijara. I wanted your indulgence, Speaker.
Yes.
Okay, I've said that he has got two sets of questions. One on administration, operationalization of administrative units, and of course the other one which concerns the
one
killing.
I have called out is the killing of a chief and a primary school teacher.
Okay.
So you can respond to that.
Yes.
When you are done, if the interventions, you deal with them, then we go to the next. But since they concern the same member, Abdi, can we take both of them together?
Yes.
Go ahead and...
On the first one, Speaker, and which is I wanted you indulgent, on the issue of operationalization of these administrative units, it has been raised almost every other day in this House, either being Ijara, being Narok, being Lwanda, and I think the response from the minister has been always the same. It has been always about budget. It has always largely been about budget. So I just want to say that the creation and operationalization of the new units remain a key government strategy aimed at enhancing governance, improving security coordination, and bringing government services closer to the people. In this regard, the State Department for Interior and National Administration is developing a regulation and are intended to guide the modalities for the creation and operationalization of administrative units across the country. One of the key requirements in the gazettement process is approval of adequate public participation in line with the provision of the Constitution of Kenya 2010. In addition to, the government must take into account the financial implication associated with the establishment of new units, including the provision of authority to incur expenses, payment of personal enrollment, and facilitation of officers deployed to the new stations. These requirements must be fully budgeted for in order to ensure sustainability and avoid situation where officers are deployed without adequate operationalization support or enumeration. Subsequently, these factors has contributed to the delayed gazettement of various units, not only in Ijara constituency, and I repeat that, Honorable Speaker, not just in Ijara constituency, but also in other parts of this country. On the other question on the issue of timeline, The timeline for the full operationalization of administrative units is dependent on the availability of adequate budgetary resources, which is, Honorable Speaker, appropriated by this House. Once funds are availed, the Ministry will commence the deployment of personnel and provision of the necessary infrastructure and logistical support required for the operationalization of the gazetted administrative units. And of course, on the last part, which is measures being taken, even as the Ministry continues to pursue establishment of the proposed unit, measures have already been undertaken to strengthen administration and service delivery in Ijara constituency, and of course, even the rest part of the country. In the period between November and December 2025, the State Department operationalized 2 locations, Bula Haji and Bula Dahir, and 2 sub-locations, Kuala Kual, Diro, and Dabar Matan. Currently, Ijara sub-county has a total of 4 divisions, 19 locations, and 22 sub-locations. These measures have significantly enhanced administrative coordination, improve access to government services, and strengthen security management within the constituency as the Ministry continues to work toward the eventual operationalization of the proposed administrative units. Signed by the Cabinet Secretary, Kipchumba Murkomen. I submit, Honorable Speaker. So I don't know whether I allow the, or I go to the next second.
Yes.
Very good. On the second question, which is about the very unfortunate killing of a chief and a teacher, the respond as follows. It was reported at Ulugo Police Station, Vido bin number 3 of 2026, this year, on the 26th January, at about 13:00 hours, approximately 20 Al-Shabaab militants stormed Huluga Township in 3 groups. The first group comprising about 5 militants engaged officers at Hulugo Police Station through probing. The second group, consisting of about 7 militants, proceeded to the homestead of the late chief Abdifarah Ghani Muhammad when they broke into his house and fatally shot him. The assailant subsequently detonated EIEDs, destroying his motor vehicles and kiosk. The third group invaded the residence of the late teacher, Stephen Musili Vundi. They frog-marched him for approximately 100 meters before fatally shooting him. A multi-agency security team promptly responded to the both instances and conducted thorough search of the areas and subsequently initiated a pursuit operation to track and intercept the attackers. The case is pending under investigation. Honorable Speaker, on the second part, the reason for persistent inadequate security, Ulugo sub-county lies along the Kenya-Somali border, and it is characterized by expansive and porous terrain. Due to symmetric tactics employed by the Al-Shabaab, attackers at times exploit soft targets and execute swift cross-border incursions. Such tactics present operational challenges in preventing every isolated incident, particularly within the border environment. However, the government has progressively enhanced personnel deployment, mobility, assets, and operational support within Garissa County to strengthen the overall security preparedness. Security operations in Lugo and other high-risk border areas within Garissa County are undertaken through a joint multi-agency approach. These operations include a coordinated border patrols, surveillance, disruption of military networks, and arrest of suspects and recovery of weapons and other logistical material. Within the Hulugo sub-county, Honorable Speaker, there are 3 Kenya Defense Forces camps located at Sinai, Hulugo, and Shangulu, as well as SOG camps stationed at Hulugo and Gezreb. These security teams have significantly strengthened deterrence and response capability within the sub-county. The National Service continues to review and reinforce security strategies in Hulugo and other high-risk areas of Garissa County, and of course, even the northern part of the country, through sustained patrols, interagency collaboration, community engagement, and capacity enhancement to address evolving threats. I think the rest are the standard interventions and methods being employed. Yeah, so I submit, Honorable Speaker.
Yes, Abdi, you satisfied with the responses?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Definitely, I'm not satisfied with the answer the chair has given. On the specific issue of the budgets, I understand there is a challenge on creation of administrative units and operations because of the budget, but I believe is the chair of the Administrative Security, Ministry for Internal Security. So I believe the committee should make decisions to allocate resources to areas that are affected by administrative units. In case of, for example, in Hulugo sub-county, we have a whole division, a whole location called Ilkamberes location. It borders the Somalia. We have people living along the borders, a place called Wardot. And until now, that place doesn't have location. So I request the chair and the committee, Mr. Speaker, to allocate more location to address these administrative units. On the other issue of the chief that was killed, that is an incident from that day till now. The people of Hulugo sub-county are in a state of panic. And people are a bit worried because of insecurity issues in my sub-county. So I request that issue. You see, say that the chair replied it's illegal, it's already, the matter is still under investigation. I request to be at least addressed it, because right now, the people of Hulugo, the teachers are not there. In Hulugo Secondary School, Hulugo Girls, Hulugo Primary, because of the killing of the teacher. Up to now, for the last 2 terms, I don't have teachers there. So this is not a matter that we just reply that is still under investigation. If we don't have teachers, we have over 40 teachers who have left Hulugo Secondary School, Hulugo Primary, Hulugo Secondary School. Till now, those teachers are not, they can't go back to Hulugo to teach the students until we are now looking for other mechanisms to address. So I am not satisfied with that statement, specifically on the issue of the incident of insecurity in Hulugo sub-county. Thank you.
Yes, Russell.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, we take note of what Honorable Abdi has presented. I think the problem in the north...
Are you responding?
I'm not responding, but I am... Actually, we experience the same problem.
You are joyriding?
Yes, I'm doing both, Honorable
Because
Speaker.
you cannot take over the response from your chairman.
I'm not taking the response from the chairman.
Okay.
The chairman is doing his duty. And as a member from Northern Kenya, I think the 2 questions that Honorable Abdi raises, actually they are interconnected. Because the absence of governance in most of these areas, this is what is giving criminal syndicates like Al-Shabaab and others to take over most of these areas. And it is true that there's the issue of finances. But the important thing is the security must look at these issues, particularly in the north, in a different perspective. Because of the porous borders, the availability of guns and criminal gangs, this makes even teachers from other regions or even civil servants not to be comfortable in working in those areas. As a committee also, I think we also take note, but as people from the north, we think the government should do better. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Speaker, I want to just confirm.
How long have the investigations into the killing of the teacher and the chief taken?
Honorable Speaker, you know, from the report, these are attacks and killing from Al-Shabaab.
Yes.
Which make it complex because these guys, in fact, they cross across the border. And I think it's clear, it's a problem that we are continuously been having. And the question actually largely here is that it is a multi-agency. Of course, how also they do their work is a bit on secretive, but we just want to assure the Kenyans and our colleague here that we are going, the ministry and the security agents, we are going to do anything possible to ensure that Kenyans are not going to be subjected into such kind of killing from the Al-Shabaabs.
Thank you.
And Honorable Speaker, let me say a word. The events of today, seeing that the House is full, our roads are safe, have just demonstrated the capacity and the capability of our officers. Once they're trained, they are well equipped, their morale is motivated, and given what they need, they can equally do a good job, Honorable Speaker. So I want to assure the member and the rest of us that the investigation is ongoing, and more importantly, the efforts to make sure that the deterrence of such acts are contained. On the second question, Honorable Speaker, on the issue of operationalization, it is true, you remember, Honorable Speaker, this has been a repeated question every other time. And when we came in, we had a requirement of about 2.4 billion to operationalize a long list of the pending units. And I want to report that the around 24, 26 sub-counties, all of them have been operationalized across the country. The remaining units, to include the Ijara ones, we have got some small money in this budget. That has been just the 2027 that we passed through this House. I'm going to follow up that Ijara, among the other rest of the country, are going to be among the beneficiaries of operationalization.
Thank you. Is Kazungu Tungule in the House? Yes. You are ready with this, Tomoyo?
Which one?
The response to Honorable Kazungu Tungule MP Ganze.
I don't have that, Honorable Speaker.
You don't have?
Yes.
Kazungu? Eh? Oh, it's not yours. It's defense. Where is Coach?
I'm here.
Bashir, you are ready?
Yes.
Go ahead. Go ahead. The honorable member is in the House. Go ahead.
Okay. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, this is a response to a request for statement by Honorable Kazungu Tungule, MP, regarding the death and burial of the late Jessica Kashutu Zero in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Honorable Speaker, Honorable Kazungu Tungule, MP, pursuant to Provisional Standing Order 44-2C, requested a statement from the Prime Cabinet Secretary and the Cabinet Secretary for Foreign and Diaspora Affairs regarding the death and burial of the late Jessica Kashutu Zero in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. The committee specifically sought clarification of the following. One, the cause of death of late Jessica Kashutu Zero, whether any post-mortem examination was conducted in Saudi Arabia, and the details of the post-mortem report. Two, details of the person or body that granted authorization for the burial of the late Jessica Kashutu Zero and other Kenyan citizens in the Saudi Arabia without consent of their families, and whether the government of Kenya was notified. Three, steps taken by the ministry to facilitate the exhibition and repatriation of the remains of the deceased persons to Kenya for proper burial by their families. And four, the measures put in place to ensure that Kenyans working abroad, especially domestic workers, are accorded their rights, and that employers are held accountable for any deaths, unpaid dues, or violations of international labor laws. Honorable Speaker, on the cause of death of the late Jessica Kashutu, and whether any post-mortem examination was conducted, the Ministry of Foreign and Diaspora Affairs states that Ms. Jessica Kashutu Zero was first recruited by Gravik Enterprise Limited as a domestic worker to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia in September 2022. She has successfully completed her 2-year contract in September 2024 and returned to Kenya. In February 2025, she secured a subsequent contract in Saudi Arabia through the same recruitment agency. Following a disagreement with her employer, her contract was terminated and she was transferred to a deportation center. On 22nd June 2025, she left the deportation center and was accommodated at the offices of the Mautan Recruitment Company while awaiting transfer to a new employer. On 30th June 2025, while awaiting transfer to a new employer, Ms. Kashutu developed a sudden illness and was rushed to Dr. Muhammad Al-Fakh Hospital in a comatose state. According to the official medical report, She suffered an out-of-hospital cardiac arrest while arrest lasting more than 30 minutes. Medical assessment established that ventricular fibrillation prompting emergency resuscitation and advanced cardiac life support interventions. Despite these efforts, she was pronounced dead on 30th June 2025 at 2:12 p.m. The attending physician, Dr. Wael Abbas Omar, certified the primary cause of death as cardiopulmonary arrest. Honorable Speaker, regarding the post-mortem report, the ministry states that under the laws and regulations of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, post-mortem examinations are not routinely conducted unless required by law enforcement authorities in cases involving suspicious or unnatural deaths. In the absence of such a requirement, an autopsy can only be conducted upon a formal request and payment by the family through the Kenyan Embassy. The ministry has indicated that no formal request for an autopsy was submitted by the family, and therefore no post-mortem examination was conducted and no post-mortem report is available, therefore. Honorable Speaker, on the issue of authorization of burial and whether the government of Kenya was notified, the ministry states that the statutory process governing the burial of foreign nationals in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia involves several government agencies, including 1, the Ministry of Health, which certifies death and issues death certificates, the Ministry of Interior, through the Civil Affairs Department, which approves and allocates burial sites, and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, which facilitates communication with foreign missions. The ministry further states that in the case of Mrs. Kashutu, there were procedural deviations as no formal authorization or consent was granted by either the Embassy of the Republic of Kenya in Riyadh or the immediate family of the deceased before the burial was conducted. The ministry considers this action inconsistent with established international democratic practice. Honorable Speaker, on the efforts made to repatriate the remains of the deceased, the ministry states that Clause 11 of the Standard Employment Contract for Domestic Workers places responsibility for repatriation of mortal remains and personal belongings upon the employer. Where repatriation is not visible, the employer is required to obtain approval from the family of the deceased or the Embassy of the Kenya before any burial is conducted. Following notification of the death through the Kenya Recruitment Agency, the State Department for Diaspora Affairs, in collaboration with the Embassy of the Republic of Kenya in Riyadh, immediately initiated the repatriation process. However, the employer and the responsible our Saudi Recruitment Agency declined to facilitate or finance the repatriation of the remains. Consequently, the embassy escalated the matter to the relevant Saudi authorities, including the Ministry of Human Resources and Social Development of Saudi Arabia, to enforce compliance with the employer's obligations. While diplomatic and legal interventions were ongoing, Saudi authorities proceeded with the burial of the remains. Following the burial of Mrs. Kashutu and 7 other Kenyan nationals, the embassy formally engaged the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Saudi Arabia to explore the possibility of exhumation and repatriation. The State Department for Diaspora Affairs, together with the embassy, continues consultations with the Saudi authorities to facilitate completion of the exhumation process and the subsequent repatriation of the remaining mortal remains to Kenya. On the measures put in place to protect Kenya migrant workers abroad, particularly domestic workers, the ministry states that the government continues to implement various interventions aimed at safeguarding the welfare, rights, and interests of Kenyans living and working abroad. These measures include 1, establishment of the State Department of Diaspora Affairs to coordinate and champion the welfare and protection of Kenyans abroad. 2, ratification and implementation of international labor conventions aimed at protecting migrant workers. 3, negotiation and review of bilateral labor agreements with the major destination countries to establish minimum labor standards and dispute resolution mechanisms. 4, continuous registration of Kenyans abroad to facilitate accountability and provision of consular services. 6, development and dissemination of country-specific legal and information packages for Kenyans seeking employment abroad. 7, pre-departure orientation and sensitization programs on safe migration, labor rights, and host country laws. 8, enhanced consular support through welfare visits, emergency assistance, and issuance of essential documentations. implementation of Diaspora Policy 2024 aimed at strengthening protection of diaspora rights and welfare. 9, deployment of labor attaches to countries hosting large numbers of Kenyan migrant workers. 10, establishment of 24-hour diaspora call center, dedicated email channels and WhatsApp communication platforms for reporting distress cases. 11, authorization of the diaspora integrated information systems to improve reporting, monitoring, and dissemination of information. And 12, continuous welfare checks and monitoring of migrant workers by welfare protection officers to ensure compliance with contractual obligations by employers. Honorable Speaker, the Ministry of Foreign and Diaspora Affairs reiterates its commitment to protecting the welfare, rights, and interests of Kenyans living and working abroad, and will continue to engage relevant stakeholders and foreign governments to ensure that Kenyan citizens receive adequate protection, assistance, and consular support whenever required. I submit and thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Yes, Tungule. Kazungu.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for this opportunity. Much as I appreciate the response by the Prime Cabinet Secretary, but it has not addressed the most fundamental thing. Mr. Speaker, it is almost a year now since Jessica died, and the ministry has remained non-committal on whether it is possible for them to repatriate the body. The ministry has not given us any timelines on when they are going to bring the body. So I don't know whether, Mr. Speaker, that we tell the family that it is not possible, or at least at some point they'll be able to bury their loved one. So, Mr. Speaker, I'm not very happy with the statement as it has been read here by the chair. I still wish that the ministry does more than it has already done. I appreciate the other measures that they have taken to protect their diaspora workers. But on this particular issue, Mr. Speaker, I think the ministry needs to do more to alleviate the suffering of this family, because over 1 year, they have waited for their loved ones. They need to give him a decent, they need to give her a decent send-off, but they cannot do that, and they're not getting any good responses. They're not getting any good answers from the ministry. So, Mr. Speaker, I am not happy with the response of the ministry. Thank you.
Yes, Bashir, can you make Kazungu happy?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I have noted the concerns of Honorable Tangule, and I think the main issue is about the ministry not providing timelines on when the remains will be brought back. And I think those are concerns. We'll take it back to the ministry and ensure that the timelines and when specifically the remains of the late to be brought back will be addressed. So I think I will take it back and ensure that the ministry abides by those concerns. Thank you.
Thank you. Kazungu, if you need any more support and help on the matter, I direct you and the chair to jointly conduct the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Diaspora.
Much obliged, Mr. Speaker.
That's the end of our statements. Is there any other? Majority Leader's Thursday statement.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 44.2a, I rise to present the following statement on behalf of the House Business Committee, which met on Tuesday, 23rd June 2026, to prioritize business for consideration during the week and the business coming before the House next week. Honorable Speaker, as members may be aware, on Tuesday this week, the President assented to the Finance Bill 2026 and 4 other bills following their passage by the House. Permit me to commend members from both sides of the aisle for the maturity shown during committee of the whole House undertaken last week on the Finance Bill in particular. The sobriety with which we considered each clause and the proposed amendments thereof based on facts and responsiveness to the views gathered through public participation is testament to our ripening democracy. Mr. Speaker, with regard to business scheduled for Tuesday next week, the House is expected to undertake the following. 1. Second reading of the following bills if not concluded today. 1. The Sovereign Wealth Fund Bill 2026. 2. The Competition Amendment Bill 2026. 3. The Creative Economy Bill, Senate Bill number 30 of 2024. And 4. The Parliamentary Powers and Privileges Amendment Bill, Senate Bill number 2 of 2022. Committee of the Whole House on the following bills. The Parliamentary Pensions Amendment Bill 2023. Honorable Speaker, debate will also be undertaken on the following motions should they not be concluded today. 1. Eighth report in audited financial statements for 6 state corporations. 2. Report of the Kenya delegation to the 151st Assembly of the Interparliamentary Union, IPU, and related meetings. 3. Second report on the status of reports on petitions and resolutions. 4. Consideration of the petition regarding the proposal to amend the Consumer Protections Act. And 4. Report on the audited financial statements of selected state corporations in the roads and transport sector. In conclusion, Honorable Speaker, the House Business Committee shall reconvene on Tuesday, 30th June 2026, to schedule business for the rest of the week. Thereafter, the House will proceed on a short recess in accordance with the calendar of the House. I now wish to lay this statement on the table of the House today. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I beg to lay.
Thank you, Honorable Bayer. Honorable members, we go to the next order. As we do so, is the majority and minority leadership here? Can they approach the chair? Where is Kimani Ichung'wah? Or Millie, you can come. Honorable members, we have, I want to direct on the supplementary order paper, we'll proceed as follows. We'll stay order number 8 temporarily. I know Honorable Mishi has already approached the chair, wishing to contribute. You'll have your time. We go to order number 9. After order number 9, we go to the committee of the whole. In the committee, at order number 10, we'll dispose of Roman 1 and 2, CARA, which is time-bound. We need to finish up with it. Then CBK. Revenue Authority will be put off to next week. Fisheries will be stayed, but we'll come back to it later after disposing of order number 8 on sovereign wealth. So call out order number 9.
Order number 9, special motion, consideration of nominees for appointment as members of the National Government Constituencies Development Fund Board.
Sirma.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, taking into consideration the findings of the Committee on the National Government Constituency Development Fund, in its report in the approval hearing of nominees for appointment as members of National Government Constituency Development Fund Board, laid on the table of the House on Wednesday, 17th of June, 2026, and pursuant to the provisions of Section 15 of the National Government Constituency Development Fund Act, Cap 414A, and Section 3 and 8 of Public Appointments Parliamentary Approval Act, Cap 7F, this House approves the appointment of the following persons as members of the National Government Constituency Development Fund. That is 1, Komora Yvonne Susu; 2, Mayanga Yvonne Boyani; 3, Mutua Fidelis Kieti; and 4, Maurice Putita Kaga. Mr. Speaker, these members appeared before our committee, and they had been forwarded from your office after the deliberations in the Public Service Commission. Mr. Speaker, I put before this House the 4 members for consideration. I beg to move and ask Seconder Muragara.
Kitonga Murugara.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, as I rise to second this, I wish to say that, number 1, Honorable Srima and his committee continues to do a good job, and that in spite of the fact that CDF has nothing to do with the members of parliament, it is the lifeline of development, especially in the rural areas. Therefore, this House must make a very candid decision when it's required to do so under the Public Approvals Act. And this is one instance where we have to look at it. So, Honorable Speaker, with those remarks, I beg to second.
Order. Members on their feet, take your seats. Members on their feet. Bashir, take your seat. Order, Honorable Bashir. Honorable members, I propose the question at order number 9, which is that, taking into consideration the findings of the Committee on the National Government Constituency Development Fund in its report on the approval hearing of nominees for appointment as members of the National Government Constituency Development Fund Board, laid on the table of the House on Wednesday, 17th June 2026, and pursuant to the provisions of Section 15 of the National Government Constituency Development Fund Act, Cap 414A, and Sections 3 and 8 of the Public Appointments Parliamentary Approval Act, Cap 7F, this House approves the appointment of the following persons as members of the National Government Constituencies Development Fund Board. Number 1, Komora Yvonne Nzunzu. 2, Manyaga Yvonne Boyani. 3, Mutua Fidelis Kieti. Number 4, Maurice Putita Kaaka. Do I put the question? I put the question? Yes. Ngogoye, what is it?
Mr. Speaker, this is a very important board. Mr. Speaker, I would want to contribute on it. Mr. Speaker, sir, I want to be on record that I support the approval of this board as it has been proposed by the committee. Mr. Speaker, sir, the elements of approval are 1, the national government Cap 414. And Mr. Speaker, all the 4 members have met the requirement of the national government NGCDF Cap 414. Number 2, the Public Parliamentary Approval Act. All the 4 members have met the requirement. Mr. Speaker, in Kajiado County, we have Maurice Putita Kaaka. Mr. Speaker, when I served as an MCA, this was the chief officer in the first county government. Mr. Speaker, sir, this member has met all the requirements of Chapter 6 of the Constitution. Mr. Speaker, there is a lady from Garsen. Mr. Speaker, one lady who is a graduate that has never had the opportunity to work in any other institution, Mr. Speaker, and has gotten the chance to serve in this NGCDF board. We have a lady from Nyamira. Why do you want to deny her an opportunity to serve? Mr. Speaker, I want to say that the governing instruments in NGCDF are three. One,
yes,
the public procurement.
Hold on, Gogoyo.
Honorable Speaker, I rise on a point of order on anticipation of debate. And I know Honorable Ngogoyo is rightly in his place to debate. But what Honorable Ngogoyo is saying is actually anticipating a decision of the House. And in second reading, you should be debating, not anticipating debate, because I don't know who he's talking to. But Honorable Speaker, also, maybe just to correct Honorable Ngogoyo in his contribution, that a board, unlike management, if you have not worked somewhere before, maybe even in your endeavor to support somebody, you may be saying things that may be pointing to another direction when you concede that someone has never worked anywhere before and is now being appointed into a board to superintend over people who have worked with NGCDF for very many years. So just to caution Honorable Ngogoyo on that.
Mr. Speaker, I rise to support the motion as it has been proposed. Mr. Speaker, I happen to have served in the County Assembly of Kajiado, worked with the chief officer.
You've already said that.
Yes, and Mr. Speaker, just allow me to finish. I will not offend you in any way. And Mr. Speaker, as one that believes in fairness and giving opportunity to everyone, I want to ask this House, let us approve these members. And specifically, because for the first time we also have somebody from Kajiado, I would ask you to support this member. And let me say, the Honorable Ichongwa, you cannot teach me on how to do things. You do your things the way you want. Don't bring that thing of yours here. Mr. Speaker, with those very many remarks, I support the appointment of this board, and I want to see members that want to bring down an individual who has been supporting this government. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, KJ.
Mr. Speaker, I thank you for this opportunity. I just wanted to say that you have a discretion, Mr. Speaker, according to our standing order number 1. And what you have done, Mr. Speaker, is first opened up this for a debate on how we are going to vote, Mr. Speaker. And we are not beyond that stage yet to get into the full debate on the veracity of the report brought to us and the qualifications of the people in the report. And I think the debate is totally out of order, Mr. Speaker, until you call for the debate for us to go into it. You are just asking how we want to vote on this report, Mr. Speaker. I thank you.
KJ, the motion was moved and seconded, and I propose the question. Yes, Minority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I stand to reject this motion. Mr. Speaker, you know, this is a house of debate. I can see there is one member who's very qualified. That is true. Mr. Maurice Potita Kaaka. He's also known to me and he's qualified. But that does not make the whole list okay. Mr. Speaker, this is a very, very important board to this country. This is a board that is going to manage and handle 65 billion Kenya shillings on behalf of Kenyans. Mr. Speaker, we must have the most competent people on this board. Secondly, this house is not a conveyor belt. We have to scrutinize whatever we are passing in this house. And don't come here with a mindset that whatever is presented on the plenary must pass. No, we also have the constitutional mandate to reject it if we feel so. So I want to urge my colleagues, members, this thing requires more scrutiny, more consultation. It requires for us to consider people of high integrity and people who can manage this fund in the best way that it can be done. With those reasons, Mr. Speaker, I want to urge my colleagues to reject it in total.
Majority Leader.
Honorable Speaker, I also rise to reject this list. And I want to associate myself with the sentiments of my colleague and leader, Honorable Junet, that this House has a constitutional mandate to oversight the work of the executive and everybody in the executive. Honorable Speaker, in fact, I was, when I listened to my brother, Honorable Ngogoyo, I was tempted to even change my mind until he disclosed that there are people here who have never worked anywhere before. Then Honorable Ngogoyo disclosed that one of the people in this list has worked with the county government as a chief officer. Honorable Speaker, you know what happens between county governments and members of parliament with the NGCDF. We must be certain that the people we approve in this board are people who are beyond reproach. Beyond reproach. Honorable Speaker, I know some of us are tempted many a times to speak to the gallery. And that is why you see the anger in which Honorable Ngogoyo is exhibiting today. It's probably because the people he follows, the day before yesterday, told their thuggish supporters not to appear in the streets, and that is why we have had very peaceful processions. And I join many Kenyans in remembering those who lost life and those who lost property 2 years ago and last year. And let me also use this platform, Honorable Speaker, to say, as much as it annoys the member for Kajiado North, when the people he follows in Wamunyoro, the day before yesterday, asked their supporters, what he called his supporters, it is now clear who the owner of the violence that was visited on people's properties is. It is now clear.
Yes, Honorable Ngogoyo, what is it?
Speaker, I rise understanding order 106 on relevance. Mr. Speaker, what does the issue of NGCDF have to do with Wamunyoro? And what is Wamunyoro? What is it that you're talking? What is that? How is that relevant to NGCDF's board? Mr. Speaker, I ask for your indulgence, Mr. Speaker, so that this member remains relevant to the debate that we have. The member for Kikuyu, Mheshimiwa Anthony.
Go on. Give him the mic.
Honorable Speaker, you know, I said yesterday when the member for Manyata rose on standing order 105. And I see at least the member for Kajiado North has read one standing order. But I am obligated as his leader to continue educating him even on issues of relevance. This is how this debate is relevant to NGCDF. The police posts that were burnt last year in Dagoretti, my NGCDF office that was burnt the year before, the Dagoretti South NGCF office that was burnt the year before by the thuggish arsonists mobilized by those people who are calling off the same thuggish characters from the streets the day before yesterday. I was saying it is now clear to Kenyans who the owner of these thuggish arsonists are. Honorable Speaker, the leader of minority may inform me.
Mr. Speaker, I wanted to inform my leader, the majority leader, that what he's saying about the offices that were burnt in Kikuyu, in Dagoretti South, the CDF offices, the police station, I am told that burning was instigated by a group called Wamunyoro. I wanted to inform him that.
Go on.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, in conclusion, I've said, Honorable Speaker, you know, I've also had some people claiming that today is a public holiday. And you know, I just came from Bomas, Honorable Speaker, with His Excellency the President inspecting the work ongoing there, and people are working at Bomas. We are here because we are working and we must work. Therefore, what we are doing in considering this motion is what we are paid by the people of Kenya to do. And we must never use this floor to tell untruths, like the untruth the member for Kajiado North Honorable Bongogoya has told this House. Because this board had in place the Honorable Janet Teya, the former women rep for Kajiado, who has served in this board. So it is not true that this is the first person to serve in this board from Kajiado County. And we are not appointing members, we are not approving members into the NGCDF board. This is the national, not county, not regional, not ethnic board. This is an apolitical board of the National Government Constituency Development Fund that is superintending projects that we have allocated 61 billion shillings. Therefore, Honorable Speaker, this is a board that we should have an opportunity to reconsider. And should any of these people, Maurice Putita, Mutua, Fidelis Kieti, Yvonne Boyani, Yvonne Susu, want to make their way back, the process is open for any one of them to reapply. And therefore, Honorable Speaker, at this juncture, I strongly oppose. Put the question now. Put the question.
Yes, because who do you want to inform?
Honorable Speaker.
Order, because
she wants to inform me.
Who do you want to inform?
I'll allow her to inform me if she wants.
Order, hold on. Majority leader is no longer on the floor, so you can't inform him. Order. Order. Order, Honorable Fatuma. Honorable Fatuma, you can't be on a misadventure to inform everybody. Honorable Bukose is on a point of order, so he has not even said anything worth being informed about. Yeah, Bukose?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, you know we had, I stand under Standing Order 95, that the mover be called to reply. I think the only person supporting this motion is Honorable Ngogoyo for his space reasons. And the Honorable Lea will allow her to support. And Sunguya, I think that will go into note. But allow us, Honorable Speaker, that the mover be called to reply.
I will call the mover, but let me hear Sunguya for a minute. Lea for a minute.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Yes.
I stand to support the appointment of this nominee, and especially Maurice Kaka. It is true, he's a Kenyan, he's a very competent nominee, that I knew him for many years, that he came from my constituency, our ward, the location that also sit as a member of parliament. So, Mr. Speaker, as the committee has approved there before, I urge this House that this guy is a very competent nominee that should not be rejected in this House, because he's the supporter also of this government, and he's a very, very competent person. So in any case, all of us, at the end of
Honorable Fatima, what is out of order?
Event, we are all voters.
Hold on,
Honorable Speaker.
For that,
Sunguya, hold your horses.
Honorable Speaker, this is what has been itching me. Honorable Speaker, that honorable member there had just mentioned that that person is a supporter of this government. My honorable member here again repeats the same thing. This house does not reward those who support the government or does not support the government. We will pass it on merit, not who you support. So I think that should be clear. Because even in Migori, there are men and women who can be given that position. After all, 101%. We support honorable president, we support the president, but we have not been rewarded. It means this house does not reward. So if that is the reason why you want us to pass, in advance I may say I reject it.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Make your point.
Although, so myself, I'm just argued the House to support, to approve this nominee because he's competent and he has all right and to be heard and approved. Mr. Speaker, it should not be rejected as a House. I argue the House to approve this nominee. Thank you.
Kainan.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I wanted to say two things, and you are living testimony of this. This House has fought for two things. From 1963 to 1989, Parliament was under state capture, and you know it. We did two things. These two things must always be protected jealously. One was the enactment of the CDF Act by Engineer John Karue. And the other was the formation of PSC. These two entities, CDF, yes, we say is independent, but at the end of the day, for those of us who are in Parliament, and you know it, we used to say members of Parliament got their independence, immediately CDF Act was enacted. You know what I'm talking about. If you wanted the slightest thing in your constituency, you had to go and kneel. And therefore, those who are appointed to this, those who have been appointed to this, must be people who will understand the history, the function, and the geography of CDF. We cannot chance. And therefore, I stand here as one of the fathers of this House to totally reject this list and allow us to send it back to those who have voted. Mr. Speaker, you can see when the chairman was moving, the Honorable Sirma here is a very astute member of Parliament. He was shy of action. He wasn't even sure whether to move the report or not. My friend here, the chairman of JLAC, he wasn't sure what to say. He was asked to second, and I could see he was mimicking. He wanted to say he opposes, but because of the procedures here, he had just to say he second. Therefore, this report must be rejected, and let's send it back to square one, so that we have people who can meet, who understand the tenets and the function of CDF. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I oppose this.
2 minutes, Leah.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to support the report of the committee on the nomination of members to the NGCDF board. Mr. Speaker, the reason I support this report is because by the time the report goes to a committee stage and committee looks at it, and this is a procedural house, I believe all the relevant prerequisites have been taken into consideration. And Mr. Speaker, I believe that this report is good to be adopted by the House. Mr. Speaker, I want to speak of one Mr. Morris Kaaka Putita from Kajiado County, a civil servant that has worked before in this Republic of Kenya, a very competent Kenyan, and I want to confirm because the minority leader actually said among the 4 nominees, Morris is one competent and qualified person in that report. Mr. Speaker, it is unfortunate that today if this report fails, Morris will be a victim of circumstances of other people who are unqualified put in the same category with him. Mr. Speaker, I urge this House that in the recent future, I don't know whether it's possible to have to debate these reports person by person, so that we can approve those people who qualify and those who do not qualify, Mr. Speaker, because I also respect this House and I respect the rule of law, so that next time we debate a person by person, so that qualified, Mr. Speaker, do not become victims of circumstances of other unqualified people put together in a report, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I also want to say that next time I know he will also go back and do the same application, and I hope that if his name comes again to this House will pass this name. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Tandaza. I let Tandaza contribute, then I call the mover to reply.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. In my capacity as the Vice Chairman of the NGCDF Committee, I stand to support this motion on 3 grounds. One, it is this House that passed that directors, the independent directors of the NGCDF board will have to go through the Public Service Commission. This is the first time, Honorable Speaker, that we are debating, discussing directors of NGCDF having gone through the Public Service Commission, unlike the previous directors that we've had to discuss here. 2, when we were looking at the qualifications of those 4 directors, they were in line with what we passed here in terms of what the act, that they need to be people with academic knowledge in law, accounting, and all that, and those are the qualifications that they have. Lastly, Honorable Speaker, for the history of NGCDF, even CDF before it became NGCDF, we've never had a director from Coast. I'm not talking about a tribe here. I'm talking about a region which is recognized in our constitution that for any appointments, there needs to be regional balance. This is the first time that we are having somebody from Coast region to sit in this board. For those reasons, Honorable Speaker, I support. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Mr.
Speaker, I want to thank the members who have contributed to this motion. And Mr. Speaker, I beg to reply.
Order, DK, take your seat. Take your seat. Honourable members, you know, in 1997, we had a motion here on land clashes. And there was a member from Kericho, I think, called Chebelion. He was in the committee, and he had signed to the report. When he saw the mood of the House, he nearly fainted. And he took off through the back door. And went and called the press and apologized for appending his signature to that report. Honourable members, I now put the question at order number 9, which is that taking into consideration the findings of the Committee on the National Government Constituency Development Fund in its report on the approval hearing of nominees for appointment as members of the National Government Constituency Development Fund Board, laid on the table of the House on Wednesday, 17 June 2026, and pursuant to the provisions of Section 15 of the National Government Constituency Development Fund, Act Cap 414A, and Section 3 and 8 of the Public Appointments Parliamentary Approval Act Cap 7F, this House approves the appointment of the following persons as members of the National Government Constituency Development Fund Board. 1. Komora Yvonne Nzunzu. 2. Manyaga Yvonne Boyani. 3. Mutua Fidelis Kieti. 4. Morris Putita Kaaka. As members of that opinion say aye. As members of the contrary opinion say nay. The nays have it. Next, order members, apart from Honorable Mishimbogo, are there members to contribute on sovereign wealth? We still have many. Then let's go to committee. Yes. He's gone. It is his right. Honorable members, clerk call out order number 10. We got the committee of the whole. Leader, we have a document to lay. So call out order number 5.
Order number 5, papers.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay the following paper on the table of the House today, Thursday, 25th June 2026. Legal notice number 99 of 2026 relating to the Public Finance Management Public Officers Medical Fund Amendment Regulations of 2026. Thank you, Honorable Speaker, and I beg your indulgence because the paper came slightly late. That's why we have laid it now.
Thank you. Honorable members, can you call out order number 10?
Order number 10, Committee of the Whole House.
Members, will you be upstanding? And in the Committee of the Whole, you are doing Roman 1 and 2 only. Roman 4, fisheries, will come after order number 8.
Order members, those who would like to participate in the Committee of the Whole House, please be seated. We are going to start with the county allocation of revenue bill, Senate Bill number 10 of 2026.
Clauses 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 and 10.
I propose the question that clauses 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 be part of the bill. There be no amendment. I put the question that clauses 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 be part of the bill. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
First schedule.
I propose the question that the first schedule be the first schedule of the bill. There be no amendment. I put the question that the first schedule be the first schedule of the bill. As many as have that opinion say aye. As many as have a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it.
Second schedule.
I propose the question that the second schedule be the second schedule of the bill. There be no amendment. I put the question that the second schedule be the second schedule of the bill. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 2.
I propose the question that clause 2 be part of the bill. There be no amendment. I put the question that clause 2 be part of the bill. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Title.
I propose the question that the title be the title of the bill. There be no amendment. I put the question that the title be the title of the bill. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 1.
I propose the question that clause 1 be part of the bill. There be no amendment. I put the question that clause 1 be part of the bill. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Honorable members, we have come to the end of the first bill. Mover, Chairman, you're here.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Chairperson, I beg to move that the committee do report to the House its consideration of the County Allocation of Revenue Bill, Senate Bill number 10 of 2026, and its approval thereof without amendments.
Thank you, Chairman. I now put the question, which is that the committee do report to the House its consideration of the County Allocation of Revenue Bill, Senate Bill number 10 of 2026, and its approval without amendments. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Thank you, honorable members. Now let us proceed to the Central Bank of Kenya Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 27 of 2026.
Clause 2.
I propose the question that clause 2 be part of the bill. We have an amendment. Chair Finance.
Honorable Chair, I beg to move that clause 2 be amended as per the order paper. There's a very small amendment. It's just changing the word promote to foster.
Honorable members, I put the question that Honorable members, I propose the question that clause 2 be part of the bill. Honorable members, I now propose the question that clause 2 be amended as proposed by the Chair Finance. Do I go ahead and put the question?
Please.
I now put the question that clause 2 be amended as proposed by the Chair. Will as many as of that opinion say aye?
Aye.
Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 2 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye?
Aye.
Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clauses 3 and 4.
I propose the question that clauses 3 and 4 be part of the bill. There be no amendments. I put the question that clauses 3 and 4 be part of the bill. As many as of that opinion say aye.
Aye.
As many as of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 5.
I propose the question that clause 5 be part of the bill. Chair?
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Honorable Chair, I beg to move that clause 5 be amended as per the order paper. This proposed amendment is seeking to align the provisions with the policy intention that CBK itself will not do any refining but may get into arrangements with licensed refiners to refine the gold that may be purchased. This will boost the local mining sector and is aligned with practice in Tanzania, Ghana, DRC, and South Africa. Honorable Chairperson, this is giving now CBK powers to get into agreement with refineries for gold refineries, because now we are getting into using gold as to back our currency and not just our foreign currencies. Honorable Chairperson.
Thank you. I propose the question that clause 5 be amended as proposed by the Chair Finance. I put the question. I now put the question that clause 5 be amended as proposed by the Chair. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of our contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 5 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 6.
I propose the question that clause 6 be part of the bill. Chair?
Honorable Chair, I beg to move that clause 6 be amended as per the order paper. Honorable Chair, this amendment is seeking to give CBK more flexibility when they are going to rescue banks that are under receivership or that have challenges with their liquidities. Honorable Chairperson.
Thank you. I propose the question that clause 6 be amended as proposed by the Chairman. I put the question that clause 6 be amended as proposed by the Chairman. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 6 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 7.
I propose the question that clause 7 be part of the bill. Chair Finance.
Honorable Chair, I beg to move that clause 7 be amended as per the order paper. Now that section 7.1 of the Banking Act has been repealed, hence now this amendment is to delete its reference in the bill.
I propose the question that clause 7 be amended as proposed by the chair. I now put the question that clause 7 be amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 7 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 8.
I propose the question that clause 8 be part of the bill. There be no amendment. I put the question that clause 8 be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
New clause 4A.
Mover.
Honorable Chair, I beg to move that new clause 4A be now read a second time. This proposed amendment is seeking to introduce the term any other precious metals for harmony, complete alignment, and to align it with proposed amendment in clause 5, where precious metals are now including silver and platinum, which are recognized under the Mining Act.
Thank you. I propose the question that clause 4A be now read as... I propose the question that new clause 4A be now read a second time. I now put the question that clause 4A be read a second time. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that I now propose the question that new clause 4A be part of the bill. I now put the question that new clause 4A be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Title.
I propose the question that the title be the title of the bill. There be no amendment. I now put the question that the title be the title of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 1.
I propose the question that clause 1 be part of the bill. There be no amendment. I now put the question that clause 1 be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now call upon the mover to move the committee report.
Honorable Chairperson, I beg to move that the committee do report to the House its consideration of the Central Bank of Kenya Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 27/2026, and its approval therefore with amendments. And I will request the Honorable Sunkuya to second.
We are not yet there. First of all, I'll put the question, Chair. Honorable members, I put the question, which is that the committee do report to the House its consideration of the Central Bank of Kenya Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 27 of 2016, and its approval thereof with amendments. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Honorable members.
Chairperson to report to the House. Chairperson, for the county allocation. The county allocation of revenue bill, Senate Bill number 10 of 2026. Honorable members.
Thank you, Chair. Honorable Speaker, I beg to report that the Committee of the Whole House has considered the county allocation of revenue bill, Senate Bill number 10 of 2026, and its approval thereof without amendments.
The mover. Minister.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to...
the Chairman of the Budget Committee.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the House do agree with the committee in the said report. I also request the Honorable Dr. Pukose to second the motion for agreement with the report of the Committee of the Whole House.
Proceed, Honorable Pukose.
Honorable Speaker, I second.
Honorable members, I propose the question that the House do agree with the committee in the said report.
Put the question. Put the question.
Honorable members, I therefore put the question, which is that the county allocation of revenue bill, Senate Bill number 10 of 2026, now be read a third time. Will as many have to appear and say aye? Aye. Will as many contribute and say nay? The ayes have it. We're now going to I now call upon the mover. Oh, the mover of the bill. The mover to move the bill. I now call upon the mover of the bill to move third reading.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the county allocation of revenue bill, Senate Bill number 10 of 2026, be now read at that time. Honorable Speaker, before I request my Vice Chair to second, I saw something today, Honorable Speaker, during the public protest today. And Speaker, while I was here, I also received a message. From my residents of Siaya that power has been disconnected from all the water facilities in Siaya, and that the residents of Siaya are not able to receive water today. Honorable Speaker, I also saw my governor on the street today in Nairobi. The only governor who was leading protests today is the governor of Siaya. Honorable Siaya, I would like to call out the governor of Siaya for coming all the way to Nairobi to lead demonstrations, leaving the people of Siaya without water. And I also want to thank the people of Siaya, Honorable Speaker, because Siaya was totally peaceful. Honorable Speaker, Siaya County is hosted in my constituency. And the residents of Siaya went about their businesses without any problem. They were very, very peaceful. Well, they saw their governor running around on the streets of Nairobi on a border. They were busy doing their businesses, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, the governor of Siaya must be called out. Because, Honorable Speaker, I've said before that there are some governors that are misusing the resources that the national government allocates to them. One of them is this governor of Siaya, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, even as we allocate about 8 billion to Siaya County in this Kara bill, I want the residents of Siaya to know that they have a duty to put their governor to account so that these resources are not wasted. And we want the governor of Siaya to go back home so that he can deliver in the remaining 1 year that we have. We have very able members of this House who are seeking to become the governor of Siaya in the next election. I know one of them will be elected. But in the meantime, because we just have about 1 year, we want to urge the governor, and I want to ask the House to help me to speak to this governor so that residents of Siaya can be able to benefit from the resources that we are allocating to them. Honorable Speaker, with those...
Do you wish to be informed by the Honorable KJ?
Yes, sir.
KJ, proceed. Is it Kiborek or? Yes. Kiborek. Okay,
yes, Mr. Speaker.
Inform.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I wanted to inform the chair that one Jim Magri Orengo, my grandfather left him in the street. He was demonstrating with my grandfather. He demonstrated with my father. Now he's demonstrating with my generation. And very soon he will be demonstrating with my children. This is a shameless man, Mr. Speaker, who doesn't have any other agenda rather than demonstration, Mr. Speaker. This is a man who has left Siaya to serve, Mr. Speaker, and come to the street of Nairobi to loiter. Shame on him, Mr. Speaker. Shame on Orengo.
Order. You cannot disparage somebody who cannot defend himself in the House. But nonetheless, in enumerating facts, you're allowed. But then you cannot have words like, what? Yes, the MP for Nyando. And we are on the county allocation of revenue bill, Senate Bill number 10 of 2026.
Just allow me.
Just
allow me to join my brother, Honorable Tandi, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, yesterday, Honorable Tandi and others.
Order. Wait, I could only allow the point of information which he had accepted, but now he has to have a seconder. You must be seconded first.
Thank you,
Only
Honorable.
after you're seconded.
Honorable Speaker, with those many remarks, I would like to ask the Leader of Majority to second.
Proceed. Leader of Majority, proceed and second.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I rise to second. Honorable Speaker, as I second, we said yesterday during second reading, this county allocations bill, now that we have passed it, or we are about to pass it in third reading, will become the County Allocation of Revenue Act. And effectively from 1st of July, governors now have money in their counties, and as I said yesterday, they must be accountable to the people of Kenya, including all our constituents, because all our constituencies are in counties. And many of them, not just this one, the demonstrating governor. Many governors are not being accountable with the monies that they are receiving, and we say not just under the shareable revenue, under CARA, but even that comes under the additional county allocations bill, which we already did, and also the conditional allocations, including the UHC money that we have given to governors to be able to take care of UHC healthcare workers, hoping 8.6 billion. Many of them, Honorable Speaker, are recruiting people they call as casuals. And many of them are goons. That is why you see the governor for Siaya rampaging in the city with goons. And Honorable Speaker, I just said, today is not a public holiday. I saw a former vice president of this country celebrating that there is a public holiday today in the country. And you dare tell the people of Kenya you want to be a president. If you have nothing to do, and if for 50 years you have not done anything or achieved anything for this country when you're in a position of leadership, let Kenyans work. Kenyans want to work. I also said, Honorable Speaker, we had another former one-term member of parliament for Madera. One-term former member of parliament for Madera, saying that he is asking his people to stay at home today and not to be on the street rampaging. Honorable Speaker, it is evident now who it is that mobilizes goons to come and torch people's buildings in the CBD. It is evident who was mobilizing people to torch buildings, public buildings. And I must take this opportunity to thank the people of Kenya, especially young Kenyans who have seen through the hypocrisy and the scavenging nature of this group of politicians who have been scavenging on anything and everything. I said here the other day they tried to scavenge on Ebola. Thank God Ebola never found its way to our country. They tried to scavenge on the finance bill. We dissipated their lies and their propaganda. Now they wanted and hoped to scavenge on the 25th of June, when families are hurting, when families who lost their loved ones are remembering them, when business people and men and women who lost property are remembering in pain the property that was touched. I remember the people who died at the building on Kimathi Street, and hundreds of hardworking Kenyans who lost property in 2024 on this day. Not to forget the many young people who had been made to believe in the propaganda, the misinformation and disinformation that had been peddled around the question of the finance bill. And I thank these young people because I have seen them and I watched a number of them on television, saying that at least they brought it to the fore among us Kenyans, issues touching on the finance bill, and now we are able to converse with them. How I wish we had conversed as we have done with them. How I wish people are listening as they have listened this year. But we must thank the people of Kenya because they have listened. They have separated the propaganda from the lies and the propaganda and lies from the truth. They have seen those who speak truth, those who speak facts, those who speak to the issues that are in a bill, and those who propagate lies about land taxes, about rental income taxes, about Mutumba taxes, and they have seen even among us their members of parliament, those who read and those who don't read. Those who have their own 160-something clauses in a bill with less than 60 clauses, the fake bills and the real bills. I want to urge, Honorable Speaker, that whenever we commemorate the dead, this is the way to do it. Lay your wreaths, allow other Kenyans who want to go to work, and let peace prevail so that we continue shaming these political scavengers and agents of death, merchants of violence, masters of political deceit. They are ashamed, and they will continue to get ashamed even to the ballot next year, Honorable Speaker. Because when they were told by the president, get an agenda, have alternative policy proposals, they went to insults. Now I hear they are calling themselves an alternative government. You cannot be an alternative government if you do not have alternative policy propositions. You do not have and you cannot have. You cannot. Honorable Speaker, this Kara, for governors who are serving us in their county governments.
Honorable Speaker, usually I don't like interrupting the majority leader, but I rise on Standing Order 106. Because 106. And you know, the majority leader is consistently, and you've been doing this yesterday and earlier today, going off topic on the same issues which you had discussed before. So I'd like to request the Honorable Speaker that you guide the majority leader that even as he puts his point, he tries to stay within the bounds of the County Allocation Revenue Act and not repeat what he had said earlier in another motion while I think we were at the statements, order number 7. So he's just saying what he had said earlier. I don't get why he feels the need to just keep saying the same thing. Even at some point, and Honorable Speaker, the reason why I'm raising this issue is because we are about to move to the sovereign bill and we want to discuss this issue. We have only 2.5 hours left on this issue, and I believe there's a bill to be sponsored by the Honorable Irene Mayaka. So I'd ask the majority leader to kindly, he had said this yesterday, he had said it earlier today, for the sake of some of us, allow us to raise the issues on sovereign bill rather than repeating the same things you said yesterday and today.
You made your point. Yeah, proceed, Honorable the Majority Leader.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker.
Wait until he gets again out of order, then you can rise on a point of order.
Honorable Speaker, I was just trying to guide my brother, Honorable Mwenje. I know it hurts because the truth always hurts. Those who had not read the finance bill, it is still hurting, I know. But Honorable Speaker, if he had the patience to wait, because I was talking about the irrelevancy and what is seemingly idiocy of talking about alternative governments when you have no alternative policy proposals. And I was saying, even under this Kara, governors who are getting money, they will be competing with some of you here who want to run for governors. But even when you go to your people, you must give alternative policy propositions. That is why I'm saying those who are yapping out there about alternative government, you cannot have an alternative government either at a national level or at a county level if you do not have alternative proposals, policy propositions that can be funded in a bill like this if you want to run for county government or even in the national government in budget estimates. Therefore, Honorable Speaker, let me just ask Honorable Mwenje to be patient. The Sovereign Wealth Bill, I do hope, Honorable Mwenje, you have read, internalized and understood what the Sovereign Wealth Bill is about, because we do not want to anticipate debate. And those who were here up to 9 p.m. yesterday debated this bill in great detail. And 90% of them had read that bill. And therefore, I want to invite you when that time comes to have the patience to wait, contribute to it. Don't be like the member for Kajiado North, who was here purporting to be supporting someone from Kajiado. Then when he came to voting, he voted against the person and he walked out because all he wanted to do was to speak to the gallery. And that's why I keep telling these people who are pretending to be opposition, at least be honest, because Kenyans see through honesty. Honorable Speaker, I support and I second this third reading of this bill. CARA is a very important bill because it will give money to our county governments. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
The Honorable MP for Nyanda he had caught the eye. Order, honorable members, order, honorable members. Honorable members, order. I now propose a question that the county allocation of revenue bill, Senate Bill number 10 of 2026, be now read a third time. The Honorable MP for Nyando,
Honorable Speaker, firstly, allow me to join my two brothers, Honorable Kimani Chungwa, Majority Leader, and Honorable Atandi, the MP for Alego Usonga and Budget Chair, in condemning in strongest terms possible the occurrences of the day, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, yesterday, together with Honorable Tandi and a few others, we did hold a presser and we implored upon our people to continue with their lives as normal. And I want to thank them in a very special way, the counties from the Luo Nation that stayed away from mobilization by people who do not really connect with their plight, Honorable Speaker. Their lives continued as normal, and there was a lot of peace in Migori, Homa Bay, Kisumu, Siaya, Kisii, Nyamira, and all the adjacent counties, Honorable Speaker. And therefore, it is something that we must applaud because peace is paramount, Honorable Speaker. Looking at what was called demonstrations today, Honorable Speaker, I'm reminded that indeed Baba is no more. If Baba was alive and ordered for demonstrations, Honorable Speaker, what we saw today is child play. And what they call United Opposition, Honorable Speaker, convened at Serena Hotel this morning, addressed the press, and started walking towards the city in a bid to access Parliament to lay wreaths, Honorable Speaker. At the sight of one police officer along Kenyatta Avenue, they were all quickly whisked into their vehicles by their security personnel, Honorable Speaker, never to be seen again. Sadly, Honorable Speaker, they were accompanied by families that lost their loved ones in the brutality, Honorable Speaker. And when they moved into their vehicles, all these families were left alone and abandoned, Honorable Speaker. So when we talk about united opposition, really, and you want to balance that with what Baba did for this country, Honorable Speaker, it is high time that we moved as a nation to engage into dialogue, because that is the only remaining thing, Honorable Speaker, for us. Sadly, Honorable Matiang'i was a no-show, and I see people from his backyard here. Honorable, the former deputy president, the dethroned deputy president, was a no-show, Honorable Speaker. Yet, they have taken acreage of our press, advising people to come on the streets, Honorable Speaker. So our young people must know who indeed is their partner into this journey, Honorable Speaker. And in a special way, I want to thank...
MP for Nyando, relevant. And be brief. chair allows a little bit of, but then, please proceed.
Yeah. So allow me firstly to thank the IG of Police, Honorable Mr. Douglas Kanja, the CS of Internal Security, my brother Murkomen, and the super PS, Honorable Omolo, for exhibiting a great degree of professionalism today. But Honorable Speaker, as I conclude on this, times have changed. The combatants have no place in our society. And we only need, as a nation, to come together to develop the only country that we have, Honorable Speaker. On the same, I want to applaud Honorable Tandi for bringing this bill, the Kara bill. Our counties really need to be funded. Sadly, there are a lot of projects that you can only attribute to our constituencies, Honorable Speaker. You move into our constituencies, there is basically nothing done by our county governments, Honorable Speaker. And therefore, we need to engage deeply into great dialogue with our counties so that apart from those devolved functions and monies follow functions all the time, we need to demarcate boundaries on what they do, which can be seen,
Conclude,
and what they
MP
cannot do. Honorable Speaker.
This is not second reading, this is third reading.
I support Honorable Speaker.
Honorable MP Bukose, this is not second reading.
Yeah, I know.
This is third reading.
Honorable
It's very
Speaker,
brief.
Honorable Speaker, I want to thank the members for supporting, and more so want to thank my chair for having led this committee to be able to discuss this county allocation of revenue bill. And Honorable Speaker, my county of Trans Nzoia is getting 8.2 billion. And I'm happy that my governor was not in the streets, Governor Natembeya. And my people of Trans Nzoia did not demonstrate today. They continued with their day-to-day activities. The governor was in Mombasa attending the meeting with the teachers, principals, and that is a good gesture. But what we are asking, Honorable Speaker, is that the money that is going to the county, you must be able to be seen to do projects. 8.2 billion for Trans Nzoia must be accounted for. We have had nurses who have had delayed in payments, receiving their salaries for almost 3 months, with other county officers going without salaries. And I think that's a matter of concern for the people of Trans Nzoia. Therefore, as we send this money to the county of Trans Nzoia and other 46 other counties, we want the governors to make sure that the money does what it is supposed to do. With those few remarks, Honorable Speaker,
One final one,
I support.
MP4, is it Manyata? Manyata, yes. Take as few minutes as possible.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I also rise to support. Honorable Speaker, I know members want to make fun of my
Proceed, you have 1 minute or 2 minutes maximum.
Yes, Honorable Speaker, as we support this bill, I want, first of all, Honorable Speaker, to say that yes, we are giving allocation to counties. But Honorable Speaker, one of the areas that counties have completely failed is in their own source revenue collection, Honorable Speaker. Many of the counties, Honorable Speaker, really don't do anything.
Don't interrupt the Honorable MP for Manyata.
And Honorable Speaker,
he has just 1 more minute.
I have been checking, especially Embu County, instead of increment in their own source revenue, it's actually reducing. And this tells you one thing, that Honorable Speaker.
Why?
It is basically a source of money that is used badly, and corruption, where counties, instead of them trying to reduce the burden of the national government, they are actually increasing it, Honorable Speaker. And as we sit in this house, we need to actually put up measures and compel our counterpart in the Senate to put up measures to ensure the own source revenues from the counties, Honorable Speaker, is not somebody pockets money or monies that are not getting to be used. Honorable Speaker, as I conclude, Honorable Speaker, today being the 25th of June, is a day that this House must be very careful on how they are putting the information out there. Honorable Speaker, young people lost their life. And I have not heard a member even give those condolences, Honorable Speaker, when they are speaking. We don't condemn, Honorable Speaker.
You are digressing.
We
from the
actually
matter at
need
hand.
to remember these young men that were fighting for their voice. They wanted to be heard, Honorable Speaker. They
What's the
wanted,
point of
Honorable
order, the
Speaker,
MP for
to
declarations of order.
Honorable Speaker, I rise on a point of order. Seek protest of 2024, the earlier protests in the 20s, the earlier protests in the 90s, all the way up to the protests of 1965 in Kisumu. Each and every member who was speaking here yesterday took the opportunity to first condole with the families, to condole with the youth and the lives that were lost, and even took it back in history to remind our country that the events of 2024 were not only unique to this administration. There have been instances of injustices and excessive use of power by the state in many dispensations. These, the 2024, are only the latest. And so he is out of order.
You made your point. Order, honorable members, order. For the information of the House, it was not in 1965. If my memory serves me right, it was 69. Am I right? 1969, yes. Order, honorable members. Order. Third reading. Order, honorable MP for Manyata. Honorable Manyata, when the chair speaks, order. Honorable members, order. Honorable members, order. I am a stickler for enforcing the House rules, and you know that very well. Order. Honorable members, I now put the question, which is that the county allocation of revenue bill, Senate Bill number 10 of 2026, now be read a third time. Will as many of the parents say aye? Aye. The American contributors say nay? The ayes have it.
A bill for an act of parliament to provide for the equitable allocation of revenue raised nationally among county governments for the 2026-2027 financial year, the responsibilities of national and county governments pursuant to such allocation and for connected purposes.
Chairperson, report the central bank.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I beg to report that the Committee of the Whole House has considered the Central Bank of Kenya Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 27 of 2026, and approved the same with amendments.
Move. Order, Honorable Atandi. Is it finance? It's finance. Sorry. It's finance. Honorable Kimani, proceed and
Honorable Speaker, I beg
move
to
agreement with the chairperson, yes.
Yes, thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the Central Bank of Kenya Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 27, 2026, be now read at that time. Honorable Speaker, I also take this chance to tell thank you to all the members that contributed on this particular motion.
Order. Mover, you agree with the report first. The chairperson has reported. You agree with the report. You say, I beg to move that the House do agree with the committee in the same report. Proceed. Don't go down, go up.
Honorable Speaker.
After chairperson, there's a mover. So then do that. Please guide him.
Okay, thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the House do agree with the committee on the said report. And I also want to request the Honorable Sunkuya to second.
Honorable Sunkuya, proceed and second.
I second, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable members, I want to propose now the question.
Madam.
Honorable members, I now propose a question that the House do agree with the committee in the said report. Oundo, I have a right, I have a responsibility to protect the minorities' right to be heard also. Proceed and take as short possible.
May the Almighty God bless you forever. And may you be given, I don't know what you Muslims are supposed to be given to become martyrs. I cannot speak it for now. Martyrs. Honorable Speaker, I also stand to support and just pray and hope that we will not use this avenue for the loans, for as CBK gives out loans, again to be saddled in non-performing loans. That's as a common practice now in the financial sector, in the banking sector. Honorable Speaker, I totally agree that we need to have monetary stability. We need to ensure at all given times where we save banks from collapsing, because when they collapse, they go under with so much money belonging to the public. As I conclude, Honorable Speaker, today we commemorate our boys and girls who lost life through police bullets in 2024. And I must commend the people of Kenya for heeding the call to stay at home if you drive through the CBD of Nairobi. And like what my colleagues are saying, it's a completely dead city today. That meaning everybody heeded the call for public holiday. Baba Raila Amolo Odinga might not be there, but there are so many other Baba Raila Amolo Odingas who have resurrected. Thank you.
Order, honorable members. Order, honorable members. Honorable members. Order. MP for Nyando, you cannot have your small... I now put the question that the House do agree with the committee in the said report. Will as many of the opinions say aye? Will as many of the contrary opinions say nay? The ayes have it. The mover.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the Central Bank of Kenya Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 27 of 2026, be now read as a third time. Honorable Speaker, I would also want to echo the words of Honorable Oundo on these particular measures that we're extending to the Central Bank of Kenya to safeguard the interest of depositors in our commercial banks, and especially when special banks, when commercial banks are in distress, Honorable Speaker. So we are hoping that these monies will be spent correctly, that this extended mandate will not be abused by the central banks, by commercial banks that could deliberately misuse their resources, Honorable Speaker, for them now to go to central bank to be assisted, Honorable Speaker. At the same time, Honorable Speaker, I'm very happy today that we did have a conversation with my great people of Molo on Saturday, and especially with the members of the business community. And we did agree that anyone who will come out to protest today has a right to, in accordance with the Constitution. But we also agreed that we not allow destruction of properties, and especially of our businesses. I am happy that our banks remain open today. Our businesses remain open today. No any single case of violence has been reported in Molo. People's homes are safe. Our businesses are safe. Honorable Speaker, something even more interesting has happened this afternoon. It rained. And we've not had rains for a few number of weeks. And knowing Molo is a very rainy place, we are happy that that is a sign of God that has been cleansing of the many bad things that may have happened on such a day before. And the culture of destroying people's properties, of destroying public property in the name of protests. It was a shame. It started in Molo, and I'm happy to report to this House. It will never happen ever again in the constituency of Molo. And I'm hoping, and with what I have seen happening across the country, it will never happen again for the rest or anywhere else across this country, Honorable Speaker. Thank you. I request Honorable Sunkuya to second.
Honorable Sunkuya, proceed and second.
I second, Honorable Speaker. Thank you.
The Honorable, order, honorable members, order. Honorable members, I propose a question that the Central Bank of Kenya Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 27 of 2026 be now read a third time. The Honorable Raso MP for Saku.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I really wanted to speak to the Sovereign Wealth Fund.
This is not, we still have this the next order.
Mr. Speaker, please put the question.
Honorable members, I now put the question, which is that the Central Bank of Kenya Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 27 of 2026, be now read a third time. Will as many after appearance say aye? Aye. Will as many contra appearance say nay? The ayes have it.
A bill for an act of parliament to amend the Central Bank of Kenya Act and for connected purposes.
Next order.
Order number 8, the Sovereign Wealth Fund Bill, National Assembly Bill number 7 of 2026, resumption of debate.
This is a resumption of the debate, and I'm told he had exhausted it, but you had a few members who had not contributed. Order, Honorable Bukose. You don't help the chair in running the House. Are you on a point of order? What's your point of order?
Give me, Honorable Speaker, allow us in this moment. You know, you have been in this chamber, you have learned, we also have learned. So it's important that we guide you once in a while. But the discretion is yours as in standing order number 1. When we say that there are only 3 members remaining, Mishimboko, Mayaka, and Raso, allow it to do that. So that, Honorable Speaker, we move to the fishing.
You are out of order. You are out of order.
The fishing.
When order, majority leader. Order. You are out of order. And Madam Mishimboko, proceed. Order. The number and the sequence is not determined by anybody, not by Honorable Baya, Honorable Ichungwa, or even Honorable MP for Nyando. By the chair. Proceed.
Asante sana Mheshimiwa
The chair is
Spika.
aware of the fact that we are time bound and we have a lot of business to do. Proceed.
Asante Mheshimiwa Spika. Mheshimiwa Spika, hata mimi nisimame kuweza kuunga mkono mswada huu ambao unazungumzia mfuko wa utajiri wa kitaifa. Inazungumzia vile ambavyo zile rasilimali zetu ama yale mapato ya rasilimali zetu ambazo tunazipata katika taifa letu zinaweza kuwekwa katika mfuko mmoja ili kuweza kusaidia hata vizazi vijavyo. Na mfuko huno utapata mapato hayo kutoka kama kwa mapato ya petroli, mapato ya madini yetu na mapato pia ya zile tunaita bonasi ama kwa Kiingereza wanaita bonus. Tuweze kuziweka katika mfuko mmoja na ziweze pia kusaidia vizazi vijavyo na tusitumie zote kwa wakati mmoja peke yake. Niweze kusema kwamba mswada huu ni mswada mzuri sana ambao utasaidia kuhakikisha ya kwamba Wakenya wengi ambao wameweza kufaidika ya kwamba kuna rasilimali fulani zimetoka sehemu zao, kama kwa mfano kule pwani tuna titanium kule sehemu za Kwale, na wakati ule watu wengi waliweza kutolewa katika mashamba yao na wakapata fidia ndogo sana, na tukapata wafadhili ama wale wawekezaji ambao waliweza kuchimba madini yale. Lakini tunaona ya kwamba vizazi ambavyo viko sasa vichanga havikuweza kufaidika na pesa kama zile. Lakini sasa hivi mswada huu utaweza kuzungumzia hata zile ambazo tunaita mirahaba. Mirahaba kwa Kiingereza ni zile tunaita royalties. Zitaweza kuwekwa katika akaunti ambapo pesa zile zitaweza kusaidia katika vizazi ambavyo vinakuja sasa. Jambo hili halikufanyika Kenya peke yake. Manake nimeona Wakenya wengine wakiweka propaganda, wakisema maneno urongo kuhusiana na mswada huu. Jambo hili pia limefanyika kule Algeria, limefanyika kule Ghana, limefanyika kule Norway, Singapore, Malaysia na nchi nyingine tofauti. Na iwapo tutakuwa na mfuko huu wa kitaifa wa utajiri utajiri, tutaweza pia kusaidia kudhibiti uchumi wetu wakati uchumi wetu tunauona umekuwa na shida, ama wakati tumeona bajeti yetu imekuwa na matatizo, ama hata wakati tunaona maisha ya Wakenya wetu yamekuwa na shida katika changamoto fulani ama fulani. Hivyo basi fedha hizi katika mfuko huu zitaweza kusaidika na kuweza kusaidia wananchi. Niweze kusema pia mswada huu umezungumzia haswa ya kwamba ile sheria ya petroli, ile sheria ya madini na sheria ya KRA zitaweza kufanyiwa uwiano, ili hizi pesa ama haya mapato yanapokusanywa yatakusanywa kwa pamoja na yatawekwa katika ile akaunti maalum ambayo itaweza kusimamia fedha hizi, ili pesa hizi pia zitaweza kutumika katika kuwekeza katika miundo misingi ya kitaifa na pia kuweza kuwekeza katika biashara zile kubwa za kitaifa, ile tunaita global financial markets, ama pia kuweza kutumika katika zile tunaita kwa Kiingereza bonds, zile financial bonds ambazo zinaweza kuwekezwa na fedha zile ziweze kuwekwa katika mfuko huu wa utajiri wa kitaifa, ili kuweza kutumika kwa vizazi vijavyo ama vizazi vya mbele. Niweze kusema pia nataka kuzungumzia ya kwamba na kusema ya kwamba katika fedha hizi zinaweza kusaidia miradi ya kitaifa, na miradi hii inaweza kutusaidia kujenga viwanda, kuwa na viwanda katika taifa letu, na viwanda hivi vinaweza kujenga ajira kwa vijana wetu na pia kuweza kupanua uchumi wetu ama kuboresha uchumi wetu katika hali inayofaa. Kama taifa tunajua pia tunakumbwa na madeni mengi yale ya kitaifa, lakini ikiwa tutaweza kuhifadhi fedha hizi ambazo zinatoka kutokana na rasilimali zetu, rasilimali kama ya mafuta na madini, zitaweza kutusaidia. Sehemu kama Taita Taveta kule pwani, ambapo ni sehemu kumekuwa na madini tofauti, lakini ukiuliza hata kizazi kichanga, je, mumefaidika na nini katika madini haya? Je, mumepata ile tunaita mirahaba, ile kwa Kiingereza tunasema royalties? Utapata ya kwamba hakuna jambo kama hilo. Tunashukuru sana tulipitisha ile sheria ya mirahaba ama royalties, vile ambavyo itagawanywa katika serikali kuu na serikali ya mashinani, na pia kugawanyiwa jamii ambayo madini yale yametoka pale. Basi tukiwa na mfuko kama huno, tutaweza kuhifadhi fedha hizi na tutahakikisha fedha hizi zitaweza kuwasaidia Wakenya, hususan wale ambao wametokea katika sehemu ambazo rasilimali hizi zimepatikana. Kwa hivyo nataka niseme nimshukuru sana Rais wa taifa la Kenya, kwa sababu sisi tunatembea kama wabunge, tunatembea kama serikali katika nchi tofauti, na tunasoma na tunachukua yale maoni ama mambo ambayo wenzetu wamewafanya yamefaidisha nchi, na tunaleta katika taifa letu. Hivyo basi jambo hili la kuwa na mfuko wa utajiri wa kitaifa kuweza kufanyika katika nchi yetu ya Kenya ni jambo ambalo litaboresha uchumi wetu, litaboresha hali zetu za kimsingi, hasa wakati tumepatikana na changamoto nyingi ambazo pengine tunashindwa tutaweza kuzisaidia kivipi. Watu wamekuwa pengine na wasiwasi wakisema fedha hizi sijui zitatumiwa vibaya kisiasa, lakini naona mswada huu umezungumzia haswa ya kwamba kutakuwa na muundo msingi wa kuweka taasisi na kuweka bodi ya kuangalia ya kwamba kwanza ukusanyaji wa mapato yale utakusanywa kwa njia gani. Hautakuwa unakusanywa na unapelekwa kwa mawakala, ile tunaita agencies, kama vile imekuwa inapelekwa kiolela huku na huku na huku, hakuna mstakabala wa kisawa. Sasa hivi kutakuwa haswa na taasisi na muundo msingi ambao utajumlisha kabisa. Tukiona KRA Director General ataweza kukusanya, yeye ndo atakuwa mkubwa pale kukusanya fedha hizi na kuhakikisha zimeenda katika mfuko maalumu ule ambao umepangwa, ili kuweza kuzihifadhi na kuweza kuziekeza ili ziweze kuzaa na zile faida ziweze kusaidia kizazi cha taifa hili, kizazi tulichonacho sasa na kizazi kile chengine ambacho kitakuja baadaye. Mimi niweze kusema ya kwamba hivi sasa hata kule Turkana tunaona tuna mafuta, lakini kwa sababu tulikuwa hatuna mipangilio mizuri ya kutengeza mswada kama huno, kutengeza miundo misingi ya kuweza kudhibiti na kuhakikisha faida ya mafuta kama yale ambayo yamepatikana pale yataweza kusaidia Wakenya. Lakini kuwa na jambo kama hili ni kumaanisha ya kwamba tutakuwa tumejenga taifa letu na tumehakikisha tuna faida ya rasilimali ama mali asili ambayo tunaipata kama taifa. Niweze kusema kusema ya kwamba kila jambo litakuwa linawekwa kwa njia inayofaa. Zile faida ambazo zimepatikana ambazo zitaenda kwa taifa, zile faida ambazo zitaenda kwa jamii, faida ambazo zitaenda katika kaunti zetu, yani kutakuwa na ushirikiano maalum ambao umezungumziwa katika mswada huu, ndiposa tuone ya kwamba hazina hii ya mfuko wa kitaifa, utajiri wa taifa, itakuwa ni hazina ambayo itawekwa kwa uzuri na itaweza kuwekeza. Tuna mambo makubwa sana hapa katika taifa, miradi mikubwa ya miundo misingi ambayo tunatakana tuifanye iweze kuleta faida na kuzalisha, na wanapozalisha zile fedha zitaweza kutumika katika mambo ambayo itafaidisha Wakenya na vizazi vyetu vijavyo. Kwa hivyo Mheshimiwa Spika, mimi nataka niseme mswada huu umeangalia kila kitu. Sioni ya kwamba kutakuwa na fedha ambayo itapotea hapa. Zimeangalia pia kuziba mambo ya ufisadi katika kuokota pesa hizi ama kukusanya fedha hizi ambazo zinatokana na rasilimali zetu na zile ambazo zinatokana na zile faida ambazo tumezipata kwa sababu ya biashara zile ambazo tumezifanya, biashara za kitaifa, biashara zile zetu za hapa Kenya. Katika yale masoko ya biashara tutaweza kuunganisha ili tuweze kuona ya kwamba fedha hizi zimeweza kutufaidisha. Kwa hivyo mimi nataka niseme, niwaambie ndugu zangu, tuweze kukubaliana na mswada huu na tuweze kushukuru sana mkubwa wa walio wengi Mheshimiwa Ichung'wah pamoja na rais wetu wa taifa la Kenya pamoja na wizara husika kuweza kuleta mswada kama huu, mswada ambao utaweza kumfanya mtoto wa Kenya, mtoto ambaye ametoka pahali kuna mali asili ama rasilimali, aweze pia kupata faida ile. Tuweze kuona faida ile itaweza kujenga miradi ambayo itawasaidia watu walioko pale ambapo kumepatikana madini, kumepatikana petroli na kumepatikana bidhaa zingine ambazo ni mali asili ama rasilimali. Nashukuru sana na naunga mkono kwa dhati ya nafsi yangu. Asanteni sana, asante sana kiongozi walio wengi, asante sana rais wa taifa la Kenya. Sisi tunasema mbele iko sawa, tunaendelea kubuni mambo ya kusaidia taifa hili, na leo nishukuru sana polisi wetu kwa sababu wamewezesha kuweka amani katika taifa.
The Honorable Raso, MP for Saku, followed by Honorable Mayaka.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I rise to support this milestone bill. Mr. Speaker, we have been around this country for long enough. We have passed many bills in this House. And I think this is a landmark bill that has been brought to the floor of the House. For many years, this country has really depended on taxation. Taxation here, taxation there. But nobody has thought out of the box to see how we can develop a war chest or group of funds that will stabilize the economy and save the future generation from borrowing. That is a big burden to this country. Honorable Speaker, the real reason for this particular bill is about stabilizing the economy, guarding the current generation, and also safeguarding the future generation. I really want to thank the mover of this bill, the sponsor, the leader of the majority, and also the government agency that has thought outside the box to bring this bill to the floor of the House. Honorable Speaker, this is a very important bill, and even in terms of contribution, we should not be restrained, that we must say as it is. Honorable Speaker, a sovereign wealth fund is a government-run pool of assets invested to benefit the country's citizens economically. It is that important. A few days ago, we passed the finance bill. It is about looking at how do we get some money here and there from the traders, from merchants, from also people like us who have a few assets here and there. But through this particular bill, where we are saying, how can the government of Kenya look at what are the sources of revenue outside what exists in terms of those assets or those goods that the merchants are selling? Honorable Speaker, we have examples like Norway. Norway holds in sovereign fund about $2 trillion. They established this fund in 1990. To date, it is one of the richest countries in the world. Not by borrowing, not by doing anything speculative, but by having a sovereign fund, a fund that is properly managed. Honorable Speaker, this is a state-owned vehicle funded by foreign exchange reserve, trade surpluses, commodity exports. It simply means that individuals who have put together this bill have come around saying that we as Kenyans, we have always been saying, let us go to the Bretton Woods institutions. Let us go to China. Let us go to the West. But for now, individuals have said, let us look at how...
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I'm standing under standing order number 95 to call the mover to reply.
Honorable members, order. I now put the question that the mover be called upon to reply. Will as many of the parents say aye? Aye. Will as many of the parents say nay? No. The ayes have it. What's your point of order?
I would like to say this, Speaker. One of the things that we must is to take care of the whole country. The people of the coast, the people of Nyasa have waited for the fisheries bill for the last 3 years. If we allow me, Mr. Speaker, allow me. If we do not pass this bill, it will lapse. It will lapse. And if it lapses, we have a long way. We must stand by the people of every region in this country. And these bills will come and go. But the people of coast require an opportunity. Honorable Speaker, whatever happens, we have to pass the fisheries bill.
Order.
And there
The chair, order. Order. Take your seat. Honorable members, honorable members, this is a house of rules. Order. Honorable Bayer, please don't stretch my patience on this because I am a stickler for rules and you are out of order. Honorable members, this is a house of rules. Whereas, as a member of parliament for a constituency in this country, I appreciate and understand and see the need for what the Honorable Bayer is talking about. I also see a situation in which a member stands, and because we did not have a procedural motion to limit this to a certain number, and the minutes say 10 minutes, and a member will repeat themselves and repeat themselves and repeat themselves, in which case the speaker has very little option other than to wait until the 10 minutes is over. Although you can always put in an interjection on the relevance. Order. But then I can only enforce the rules. When a member stands, puts up and says point of order and invokes standing order number 95, and the debate has been on for a while. Order. Honorable Bayer, I know you're a second-term MP. I know you're a leader in this House, and I want you to respect the rules of the House. Don't engage the chair from where you are. Don't. If, as a leader of majority here, you would have done your own lobbying within the members of parliament. Privately, but not tell the chair to use. What discretion would I use? Would I force somebody to do only 2 minutes? No, I can't. No, there is time for this motion, this thing, but always bills can be brought. You can close a debate on any bill, depending on how much time is important and is taken. But I can't do that myself, from the chair. So order now. It is you, members of parliament, to appreciate, respect, and understand the need for people from certain parts of the country to have the benefits of their bill being passed, and we have limited time on this. But then when you take the longest, it has a problem. But I have no ways of enforcing rules beyond that. Order. Honorable Russell. Now we can't change the rules of what do you call the procedure in terms of timing and the rest of it now, not at this stage. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, in the interest of the fisheries bill,
yes,
I'll take the shortest time. And just 3 minutes is enough.
You have already done 2 minutes, so take less than a minute if you want to be very sensitive to the fisheries bill. Otherwise, I cannot stop you if you want to take your whole time.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I think I have been interrupted enough, and I just want to say this bill is very important, and we should pass it as a House. Thank you.
The Honorable Mayaka.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the opportunity to also add my voice to this very important bill, the Sovereign Wealth Fund Bills number 7 of 2026. Honorable Speaker, as has been said by previous speakers yesterday and today, this is a milestone bill, and it's a bill that is not only taking care of current generation, but also the future generation. Honorable Speaker, this particular bill is being established to put in place a structure for national funds in terms of managing, investing, and saving funds from the extractive industries in Kenya, among them being the oil, gas, and minerals industry. And Honorable Speaker, the bill has actually been divided into 3 distinctive components, which are very important. One of them being the stabilization component that is governed and has been well elaborated from Article 9, Clause 9 to 11. The strategic infrastructure investment component from Article 12 to Article 14, and the future generations component from Article 15 to Article 17. Honorable Speaker, looking at the main objectives of this particular bill, which are very important, is that one of them is the economic buffering that comes with it. And this one speaks directly to the stabilization component. Because, Honorable Speaker, this is very important for us to be able to cushion national economy and also govern revenues in terms of the revenues that you're receiving from the extractive industry. Honorable Speaker, the second important objective is in line with the sustainable future. Because, Honorable Speaker, we want to ensure that the benefits that we get from this particular industry outlive the extraction process, and therefore, by extent, safeguarding the future generation. The other key objective, Honorable Speaker, is in terms of the infrastructure financing, which looks at the strategic infrastructure, Honorable Speaker, and the component speaks to the channel of capital and natural development within the country. Honorable Speaker, if you look at the parts of the bill that speaks about public finance management principles and relating that to Cap 412A, it actually outlays the fiscal responsibilities that we want to ensure that this particular sovereign wealth fund is governed under. Honorable Speaker, the other very important part of this bill is the investment of the fund, because it does give an elaborative demonstration of the prohibited instruments, being among them the speculative derivatives and unlisted real estate, but also gives a very structured enforceability in terms of the qualified instruments that are supposed to be used.
If you seriously want to
Honorable
give an
Speaker, as I conclude, Honorable Speaker, I just want to give 3 examples because we've had feedback that this particular bill is isolated, but it's not isolated because we have similar examples from Norway, from Ghana, and Nigeria. And the Nigeria one especially is very key to ours because it also takes the tripartite angle that ours takes. Honorable Speaker, in the words of Nelson Mandela, as I conclude, it is very important for us to ensure that we are safeguarding the future of our children and ensuring that all the benefits that we are getting right now from any natural resources are actually put in place and that we have systems in place to ensure that we are governing that. With those few remarks, Honorable Speaker, I beg to support. I thank you.
Undo, and you said.
Yes, I did.
Proceed.
Yeah. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Allow me also to comment on this bill. The intentions looks good, but the design as it is presents several challenges and several issues that we must align ourselves or bring ourselves to know. Honorable Speaker, the idea, first of all, the idea of creating a separate fund to receive money from royalties and the related activities, businesses, goes to say that we have probably a very weak accounting system that cannot isolate different sources of revenue, even if it's put in a single account. The government has been pushing all government entities to deposit all their revenue in one single account. To come again, create another fund is either an admission there are structural weaknesses or there are other intentions in respect of this fund. Secondly, Honorable Speaker, the issue that is a major worry, and we must be careful as a country, as Parliament, that one of the purposes of the fund is to provide the national government with a buffer from fluctuations in resource revenues or extraordinary shocks. Extraordinary shocks, Honorable Speaker, is defined in Clause 1. It's clearly defined in Clause 1. Essentially, Honorable Speaker, it is telling us the government, the executive in power at any given time, can choose to mismanage the economy, can choose to be reckless, knowing that there's a fallback position for this particular element. That is a point of worry, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, again, the way again it is structured, it means, Honorable Speaker, the role of the National Assembly is generally at the tail end. At the Committee of the Whole House, Honorable Speaker, we must move amendments for the National Assembly to take appropriate measures and treat this fund like any other fund so that we can appropriate through the budget-making process and not to be told at the end of the day. There are quite a lot of issues to be discussed, Honorable Speaker, but I keep my word. Let us move on. We will deal with the Committee of the Whole House. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, in supporting this bill, I want to say the title itself speaks to the sovereign. That is very enticing, alluring, very tempting, a nice title in itself. It talks of investments for future generations. And where should it be sourced from? It says from budgetary surplus. If it is to be sourced from budgetary surplus, we must be serious with our budget. We must deal with deficits. If we are always working on a budget deficit, then surplus, depending on surplus, will always raise questions. It will be sourced from foreign exchange reserves, our own resources, those are natural resources, our endowments, Wajir North, Wajir County, Garissa, the Asals are endowed with natural resources. Unfortunately in Kenya, we even don't have an updated inventory of our natural resources, our mineral resources. If we could exploit our mineral resources, we would not have had any foreign debt. We would have had budget surpluses as envisaged in this bill. So it is important that we mine the gold in Marsabit County, in Wajir County, and many other places so that we can offset our foreign debts and have the envisaged surpluses if we are serious. This is not a country to go for loans if we only exploit our natural resources, Mr. Speaker. And then it is sourced from privatization. I can understand you are pushing me, time is of essence. Mr. Speaker, the objective of this bill are welcome, to stabilize the economy in our times when there is a recession, so that it can cushion, give us the shocks from volatility in terms of commodity prices. At least it is welcome. But of concern to me, I admire this bill for one thing, Mr. Speaker. Different from the infrastructure fund, which had put it off budget. This one is within the Finance Management Act. It is, our standing orders did not envisage a situation where government revenues can be done off budget, the case of the infrastructure fund. But for this one, it is within the armpits of the House, audited, except for that procrastinating aspect of it. I like its way of being handled within the government. I support. I can see you are pushing me. I support the bill. Thanks.
Honorable MP Famanyata, take.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, and thank you for the opportunity. Honorable Speaker, I was here yesterday on this bill. I never got a chance. I appreciate the opportunity. Honorable Speaker, I rise, Honorable Speaker, to say I'm very skeptic about this bill, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, it sounds good. It sounds very progressive. But, Honorable Speaker, we have to be very careful, because it's not, Honorable Speaker, much that comes in than, Honorable Speaker, what happens when the wheel starts rolling, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I have been reading on some scandals around the Solvent Wealth Fund, Honorable Speaker, around the world. And
Honorable, no,
Malaysia...
Are you on a point of order, or you want to contribute?
Honorable Speaker, in Malaysia, Honorable Speaker, there was a very serious scandal between 2009, Honorable Speaker, and 2015, and the country lost over 4.5 trillion on shenanigans around the running of Solvent Wealth Fund. Honorable Speaker, one of the most questionable things, Honorable Speaker, is the fact that these resources that we are endowed with, the minerals, the companies that have been giving profit to this nation, when they are sold, Honorable Speaker, they will not go through the consolidated fund account of this nation. Honorable Speaker, under Article 206. And this, Honorable Speaker, leaves a lacuna on the grip of this House on what will happen around the Solvent Wealth Fund. Honorable Speaker, yes, I know it is said in the bill that the Controller of Budget will approve. But, Honorable Speaker, it is not only about approvals. It's about, Honorable Speaker, the deposits and the whole line of transactions between the selling of our assets, the selling of our minerals, Honorable Speaker, to the deposit and withdrawals of those funds. Honorable Speaker, I want to appeal to this House to be very keen when we are giving an alternative budget to the executive, other than the budget that we have passed in this House, Honorable Speaker. We have passed a budget of close to 8 trillion, Honorable Speaker. We might be giving another budget that we are not in control of, that will only be doing audit about after years, Honorable Speaker, and we know where our audits are. We are now auditing parastatals in their 2015 books, Honorable Speaker. This House is way behind. And we need to learn also, Honorable Speaker, on the funds that have been established in this House. The sports fund, the housing levy fund, Honorable Speaker, that we have almost lost the grip on. And we need to be very careful to ensure that these funds pass through the consolidated fund account so that, Honorable Speaker, we are still having the grip of this house when it comes to the transaction of the Sovereign Wealth Fund. Honourable Speaker, as I complete and as I conclude, Honourable Speaker, and I don't want the chair to interrupt me. They have now gotten used to interrupting me every time. Honourable Speaker, as I finish, I want to caution this House, while you're passing, do the relevant amendment, and if those amendments are not done, let's completely refuse to pass this Sovereign Wealth Fund. Thank you, Honourable Speaker.
Honourable Speaker, I'll take only 2 minutes. Thank you very much for the opportunity, and I'll try to say what has not been said. Honourable Speaker, first of all, I appreciate the fact that this Sovereign Wealth Fund has been created as a state investment vehicle for equity. Honourable Speaker, in most cases, we forget that resources accrued from various places need to benefit the generations, the people living there, and the generations to come, and equity can be spread across generations. Honourable Speaker, the other issue that is also important is that this fund can be invested globally. There is this opportunity. I know the opportunity still exists, but it is important to note that we have a separate investment vehicle at the global level. Honourable Speaker, it also has a characteristic of maximum returns. Maximizing returns is important, not to just this fund, but in most of what needs to be done. It is an attempt, I mean, there was an attempt to create this sovereign wealth fund in 2014, and it never went through. I want to thank the government for making sure that it comes early enough, and I want to urge this House to pass this particular bill so that we are able to have a sovereign wealth fund established. And the final thing I want to say, Honourable Speaker, is that the bill establishes a management management system, which is very important in this particular respect. Honourable Speaker, to complete, I want to associate myself with the sentiments of Honourable Onda on the precautionary principle. We need to be very precautious as we manage our wealth for long term. Thank you very much.
Honourable Manje.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. Honourable Speaker, I go straight to the point. Article 223, Honourable Speaker, has been a subject of debate here, and I really hope the chair, I'd ask Honourable Sunkuya to please allow me as I speak, because I need the chair to hear. The issue with the stabilization component on withdrawal as approved by the cabinet as submitted under appropriation and a supplementary budget, I would propose, you know how Article 223 has been abused. Allow us to amend this provision that it can be captured in the main budget alone, Honourable Speaker. That would be one of the issues. Secondly, Honourable Speaker, is the issue of the board. Now, the independent members have been appointed by the finance, the CS Treasury. If we leave it the way it is, we don't bring those board members here to be vetted. You'll have the same problem you have with the infrastructure fund, where you have board members who are not qualified. Let us amend that provision and give this House control over who ends up in this board. The last one, Honourable Speaker, is
The FIFA World Cup 2026, hosted by the Triumvirate of Canada, Mexico and the United States of America, promises to be blissful. Explore the most exciting edition of the tournament to date as 48 teams from around the globe compete in 104 fixtures